how's it going? Apparently there's no picture and the music is still super loud, so just bear with me. The game should come on any second now. Well, just bear with me, I'll do this, and this is a temporary way to get the game on screen, but at least it's there. Haven't streamed City Skylines before, so some technical issues. Tessellate said, no, my comment is still there for me. Well, for me it said that your comment was deleted by the bot. And it deletes it based on a few different parameters. So it'll say things like, oh, you know, the message was too long, there was too many emotes, there was all caps. And I actually configured it today to make it much more lenient, because it was just timing people out before. So normally it gives you a message back. It'll say like, oh, I deleted your message because there was too many emotes. But it only tells you. It doesn't actually tell me. It's really weird. But anyway, I can see what you said. So for those who couldn't see what he said, hello all, thanks to whoever gifted me a membership in the last stream. I was lurking and didn't notice until afterwards. Alrighty, so yeah, that was on, I guess on Monday, right, in Satisfactory. So welcome, hello, we're back, City Skylines. Well, first stream, I say we're back in this particular world. The map of swords will let time play. So today, I thought it'd be fun, and I mentioned it in the previous video, that what we could do is, maybe because of emojis, maybe, I mean, 3 is pretty limited. It's more like if you did, like, you know, 50. So I'll look into it, but if we notice anyone else doing emotes like that and it gets timed out, then I guess I'll know there's some issue somewhere. So I thought what we could do today is just maybe slow down a bit in terms of the regular playthrough. In fact, I just want to check one thing. Yeah, from the regular playthrough, and just focus on detail stuff. So a few things I wanted to do was add a park in here, in this sort of bean-shaped area. A lot of people say they want me to add more and more pathways, so you guys can always give me suggestions where you think we should do that. I think just to get started, this would be a good first little mini project to do. Just a small park, and then we can kind of look at to see what else we want to add. I have some ideas to put some things around the back of the university here. So if people want a bit of a recap, or maybe it's their first time viewing as well, that's my City of Swords. From humble beginnings, we're at 22,300 population just about. And money's pretty good. We have our agricultural industry down in the bottom left, our oil industry in the top right. I still haven't turned on the unlimited, what's it called, resources just yet, actually. So oil will probably actually run out soon. But we can always just paint it back in where it was and then make it unlimited so that we don't have to redo things. What else? So, yeah, if we just have a look then at zoning controls, we obviously have low residential pretty much everywhere on this side of the river. Got a little bit of industry down in the bottom, industry over in the top right, and then sprinkled commerce in the center between between the various districts, really, and then next to the park. Over in the downtown area, as I've been calling it, we have our high-density residential area, Robin Heights. We have a new one called Seaview, which is sort of lazily implemented. This area might change a lot today, we'll see. Excuse me. And then we have our low-density commercial, high-density commercial, some office spaces are growing, our financial district, which is the Manor district. If you want to look at where services are, just so everyone can get orientated, this is our tram service building. We have an intercity bus terminal here, which actually doesn't have any bus stops on it right now. It's just totally empty, so we could move it or change it, depending how we want. We've got a metro system running underground, connecting across the river the various different commercial areas. And what else? I think that's basically it. We have this area here, Butler. People ask me to change it to like European style, but I've done that and it doesn't do anything. So I don't know if it's because of the mods I'm running or if new houses have to be built, but the style never changes. So not too sure about that. I know people have asked me to do that, so yeah. Alright, let me just catch some of the chat now. The stream replay will be saved. It'll just become a YouTube video just like any other afterwards, and I'll probably stream for about 2 to 2.5 hours, so nothing too crazy. It is 3 p.m. where I am, in case people are wondering. Alright, tram stops are after the intersections. In real life, tram stops are after intersections. Really? I would have thought before, because I would have thought a tram could back up maybe what's happening in front. Well, basically, well, I'm not going to change the tram stops right now. We'll leave them where they are. They seem to be working just fine. If anything, actually, one of the things I need to do is increase the amount on the second line. Hey, our Rosewood Park just reached level 4. This is the one, tram line 2. Yeah, I've noticed that there's a lot of people piling up here. We're just going to bring it back to 5. And we'll leave that as is. See, you can get pulled in a million different directions in this stream. And hello, Heidi. Hoger Brug. You can get pulled in like a million different directions in a game like this, so one thing I just want to focus on is really just details. Don't really want to be changing transport logistics or anything like that just for now. Maybe later we could set up some timed traffic lights, but generally speaking, the focus is on doing details, beautification, and implementing any ideas that you may have regarding that sort of thing. Like, oh, this could do with this type of thing here, or you should remove this amount of parking here, put down this wherever, you know, that kind of thing. Hey, Derp and Reaper. They usually are saved and published later on. Yes, indeed. So normally what happens when the stream ends, it takes a couple of hours for the video to sort of process, and then it just becomes available on YouTube just like a normal video. This is great. I have a few hours before work, and what better way to spend it than chilling watching Darren with my favorite game ever. Thank you. So just one other thing as well. When we get new subscribers, you might notice actually down in the bottom left, actually literally just popped up right now, there's like little subscriber messages. So I've got a mini chirper down there. I didn't want to block the regular chirper. And any chirper that appears down here is from people either subscribing, becoming channel members, gifting subs, whatever it might be, super chats, that kind of thing. Just wanted to point that out. I've cleverly disguised it to look like it's in-game, but the names that will pop up down here will be the real names of you guys. So I just thought that was kind of fun. So just regular people who've just regularly subscribed to even videos, it doesn't have to be on the stream, should just pop up there. So that could be kind of fun. And there's lots of different messages. Now, one of the things that's happening as well right now is we have big traffic backup, and that's just because we set up a whole new residential area over here, and people are still moving in. That will clear itself, I guarantee it. One of the first things we're going to start with is just this park. This can be kind of quick, and then I've got some ideas. I was looking at different buildings for at the back of the university. I was thinking a baseball field actually fits like perfectly there. Hey, the oil industry just leveled up as well. Sweet. And that's another thing I need to kind of develop a bit further also. Alright, so yeah, we're making progress. I haven't done anything other than just let time play, but here we are. Okay, so let's begin. I'm just going to paint out a new park area. So here's a question for you. Do you think we should get rid of the houses that are on the inside of this road? My answer would be yes. Just because I think we can make a bigger sort of park area here if we get rid of them. And also if we check parks, we can see our overall coverage. You know, this is an area that doesn't really have much going on. Now, I'm fairly familiar with the game, but not super familiar with all the DLC, so I wasn't too sure, but are you able to make a park area just like, let's say like that, you know, but, you know, smaller, without having the whole city park life DLC assets in there? This one, sorry. So, like, it doesn't need a park gate, right? You could just designate a park area, put park buildings in there, and it's considered a public park, right? It's not like you need to have a park gate and all of that stuff, right? Yeah? Yeah, it would look better. Alright, these houses are going to go then. So there's going to be a slight delay in the stream. There's nothing really I can do about that, but I am reading chat. It might just take me a minute to get to your things. The houses should go. Houses should go. Feel bad, man. But it's time for them to go then. I guess we should just remove the zoning, because they'll just immediately come back if I don't. Alright, cool. We might leave those ones there, I guess. Maybe create a cut through that goes at the back to let you get here. Are you able to put a large playing field where I live, Australia? We often have 2 or 3 football fields together. It might be good near the university or high school. Sorry that your message got deleted. I think if people write too much, it's so ridiculous. I need to really configure it, but it's like so restrictive, the kind of Autobot thing that's kind of built in, which is, it's like if you write basically a paragraph, like Ark didn't write that much there. It's just a couple sentences, and it got immediately like taken down. I wonder, can I just turn that off? Because that's too restrictive in my opinion. So just give me 1 second. See if I can find that. Perfectly valid normal message, and it like just immediately gets taken down. Yeah, just bear with me just 1 sec. The spam filters, caps protection, paragraph protection, advanced settings. Make this, come on, it has to go bigger than that. Alright, paragraph protection. It was limited to 140. That seems insane. Wonder what the max amount is. Max amount is 250 characters in a paragraph. You know what? Forget paragraph protection. Alright, cool. I've managed to turn that off. Sorry, I think that's probably what was catching a few people there. It's probably just paragraphs that were too long. It said nothing more than 140 characters, so a tweet, I guess, in length. Anyway, got rid of it. Should be good to go now. And those timeouts only last like 20 seconds, so apologies for that. Alright, I think you need to at least one entrance gate. Can someone confirm? I can't 100% confirm, but I think you do need a gate. We could just find out. Yeah, actually, you know what? Before we build this one, let's just make this mini one over here. And we won't put down a gate. And we'll see if we can just build a tiny custom park very quickly. So let's just get our district painting tool. We'll use a small brush. Just get rid of maybe the edge there. Super small. Briarwood Garden. And we could probably move it in even further. Yeah, something like that. All right, let's just call it Briarwood Park. So tiny park. I'm not going to add a park gate, and we're just going to see, like, do people use this place? That's something I'm just not too sure about. Oh, someone's after getting a 7-kill streak. Holy crap! What the hell's this thing doing? It's doing like a big 180 turn. Oh, it must be just returning to the depots. Yeah, a lot of times what happens with these is they come out, they fill up with water, and by the time they've done that, they have to just go back anyway. So, because someone else will put out the fire. Obviously, no one else is going to put out the fire unless it's a forest fire, right? That's the ones that they can really get to. Wish you could tell them, like, just don't ever leave until it's a forest fire. That would kind of make sense. Alright, so just being super lazy and quick here. Just going to grab a dirt path, extend it out from here, turn off our grid, and just make a nice little curvy path, and then we'll see. Does it, do people use this? Just start here, I guess. We can actually start straight. No. Okay. Well, actually, I don't want the path to go alongside the curb. That wouldn't really make sense. Let's just grab this, bring it down this way. Just whatever. I can obviously reshape it, but I'm just curious if people are ever going to actually use this without a gate, like we said. Can this not connect in? I thought it could, but I'm not getting a node snapping point there. Now I am. Just do that. So now you've got a way to connect. Okay, and then we'll just grab some trees and see how we get on. I'm sure they'll use the park. How many parks are you planning on adding? I don't have a plan. We'll just see. Do people really count it out before they do? I mean, I'm sure a lot of people do. I don't really plan very well. I'm a terrible YouTuber. I wish you could just grab, like, I know there's mods to do it, but I don't know what tree that is. I'd like to just copy that one. I could be here for ages trying to work out what that is. Obviously not any of those. Could it be this? No, it's definitely not those. No, it kind of looks like one of these. Kind of. How do you feel about the little lake? About a little lake? Well, obviously not here, but maybe in the other place. Alright, just, I don't know what it, maybe it's the first one actually. Let's just put these down then. That's probably like the thing that impresses me most with all the YouTubers that cover this game is that they just know, I guess they play it so much, that they're just intimately familiar with like all the assets the game has. And they can just search exactly what they want, like food truck. This is just kind of temporary. Well, it's not really temporary, it's a test. The other park will be the real park. Little trash can for them, just in case. And then I suppose street lamp. Yeah. Just put a few of these down so that when it's nighttime, the place lights up. Now, my theory is that no one will use this because there's no park gate. But I guess we'll see. And this is why people are asking me to add... It looks good. I mean, it looks better than not having it, because it just does fill in that area. Especially if you just get rid of the district names. It's like, oh yeah, that's... At least it looks like it's been purpose-built for something, but... Oh, one person looks like he was using it. Todd Brown. What a goddamn hero. First one in there. So they might just use it as a cut-through, actually, thinking about. Rather than a park. But even still, I just want to see people in there. I don't really care if it counts as park or not. Firewood Park. It has an entertainment value. But I don't think the actual park metrics will get counted. Because there's no gate. No ticket, like info booth gate or anything like that. But as long as people walk through it, I'm okay. Hey, Jackson. We lived for ages and being finicky. Coffee, anyone? You have a small pond? In the other one, for sure. But that's just a very, very, very small, quick one. So this is the park we're actually going to be working on. We'll check back on that later. So we just removed all the houses around here. We could definitely add in a little lake. Now, we do have a large park with a lake already in it. So not every park has to have a lake, right? We could change it up a bit. But this does seem like it would suit having some sort of little mini lake in the middle. I would agree. We could start with that. Alright. So now we're going to, quote, get serious. Or at least not try to make anything temporary. We're going to actually keep this consistent. Alright. Make that smaller. Bring it in. So I would say... Well, it seems like the biggest area will be here. So maybe just a small little... pond-esque style lake thing here. Like that. Let's see if we can fill this with water. Now, this is the thing I'm not too familiar with. I don't know how to fill that with water. There is something you can do, which is you can get that... not a canal, but I can't remember what it is. It, like, pours water into an area, and then you can turn it off. But you have to actually literally do it with pipes and everything. Like the in-game logic. Because I just have this giant thing, and this just adds water sources in, and it came with the map. I haven't used mods that intricately before, so I apologize. Like, I know how to raise and lower the sea level and add these large water deposits, but this will just flow immediately over this thing. The page up and page down doesn't... Oh, here we go, actually. Water capacity, would this be the size? Oh, kind of. If we go all the way down to 1. It's still too high up, though. I don't know how to sink it down. You know? Just adding it up above everything. So let's not do that. What if I click? No. Click and drag I was trying to do. It did add a little bit of water in there, actually. Kind of working. Is that it? Is that going to stay the way it should? And is it just going to flow forward and back constantly? I feel like you need a constant water source, otherwise it might go away eventually, but I don't know. Well, I guess we kind of did it. Place it and then sink it. I don't know how to sink it. I don't know how to move them. It's not like a regular object. So I've got these big ones that are baked into the map here. But I have no idea how to actually, like, move them. You know, the Move It tool doesn't let me access it. So, unless you know the... What does this say, actually? Primary to place, secondary to remove. Use the handle to adjust water level. Use the handle to adjust water level. I feel like this worked, but I paused it. So, clicking water, use the handle. I don't know. It's kind of working. I'm like clicking and then moving up and down. Oh yes, there we go. Hey, got it. Got it. Nice. Well, obviously that needs to be moved over though. Well, not really. I guess this still works, right? Yeah, so let's just go right to there. There we go. Got it. Thank you. It's too finicky to build a lake like that. It would be a nice park even without a lake. A pond is much smaller than a lake. Well, this is like a pond, right? I'm calling this a pond. Let's see if that works now. It should just slowly rise to that area. I don't think it'll overflow or anything. Alright. Did it? No, it wasn't the mouse scroll. It was just literally holding left click and dragging up and down is kind of what did it. That worked. We have a little mini lake, mini pond, whatever you want to call it. Let's just get rid of some of these trees so we have a bit more of a blank canvas to work with now. Alrighty. Always put some back in if we need them, obviously. So I guess my next question would be, where should the park main gate be? Kind of think somewhere around this side. It could be on this road, I guess, but I'd rather it be like you have to come around the actual cul-de-sac or the suburbs here to get to it. Bond will up your land value. Oh yeah, it did. A little bit, yeah. I'm not sure the only one who has entirely on accident, of course, flooded my... Yeah, no, I've done that too. You're not alone. Alright, cool. So, we've got a blank canvas, we have an open area, we have a little mini lake thing that we can kind of reshape if we need to, but let's see if we can build around this now. So, I think the first thing we want to start with is just that park main gate. Now, we could use... I'm going to use a small one, right? A small park main gate. We don't need the big... This is a small place compared to this place, which has the big one. I think that makes sense. But this one, I think a small park main gate is fine. And then maybe 1 or 2 side entrances. So, we'll just put the main gate somewhere here. Mill grounds. And then maybe the side gates. Well, we have to extend that, don't we? And then we'll just fill it in. Is it... Oh, I made a different thing, apparently. Alright, cool. Alright, next up. Park side gate. So if one's there, I think it would make sense to have one somewhere over on this side, and then one kind of over on the other side as well. There's 3 ways in, but this is considered the main entrance. I bet those red houses will turn blue when Darren's done. I hope so. That's the idea, right? We had this red patch here for leisure in terms of like the parks and stuff. Still kind of red, right? We have this red band, so we're hoping to turn kind of all of this blue, hopefully. Obviously, we can add the smaller ones in later as well. Parks and plazas, unique buildings, public libraries, yeah. Your series made me get City Skylines. My traffic flow is horrible, but I'm having fun. Hey, that's the important thing. I was watching some videos today, and I'm just like... I'm so in awe of what other YouTubers do. Great one is Imperator. Because he has a series, I think, at the moment. I don't know if it's actually at the moment. I just happened to see the video today. It could be old, actually. But he has a series going where it's just vanilla. No mods, right? So if you're new to the game, you feel it's overwhelming to play with mods. He just is doing a series at the moment, just vanilla. And it's insane, like, what he's able to build. I don't even understand how you can do some of the stuff he does. But he shows you. He shows you how he does it. But creatively, it's just really impressive. And it was one of the reasons I didn't play the game for, like, the longest time, especially on the channel, because I just thought who would be interested in watching an amateur, you know, when you've got people out there who are just creating really, really amazing stuff. But I'm glad I did. And people seem to have responded pretty well to it. And then I'm looking forward to the next game as well, obviously. So get in at the ground level on that one to an extent, even though some people are going to be amazing at it. You know what, actually? Just changed my mind about all of that. because something that's really boring with this park is there's no hills. When I was doing those pathways, I had no kind of contour guidelines to kind of follow, you know? That's what I was thinking. It's like, why is it so strange? So let's just try to create a few little hills or something, just to make something look a bit more interesting. We can kind of balance them out then afterwards. That's a bit too strong, I think. I'm on 0.19 for the brush strength. You have a fun playstyle, very unique. I'm glad you... Thank you. Hey, I appreciate that. What about Scrap Mechanic? I've no interest in playing Scrap Mechanic at the moment. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't know if it was to you, but someone asked me that on my Satisfactory stream. Nothing against the game, but basically, I don't plan on doing any series or streams or anything on games that aren't either leaving early access soon, right? So basically, if the game comes out of early access, I'll cover it. If it has a sequel that's coming up, so this game has a sequel coming up, so that's why I played this one, or if it's just a new game. So, new game, 1.0 version, or has a sequel coming. That's the rule. That's simple as that. Because I'm a small channel, I can't be out there playing old games. People don't really check out small channels that do that. Alright, that should just add a little bit more variety and a bit more interesting stuff to work with in this place. I think, anyway. Yeah, can you remove the crossings on the roundabouts? It doesn't make sense to be able to cross into the middle. Where do you see a crossing on a roundabout that you cross into the middle? Let me know where you see that. I'm seeing crossings here where you can go across it. That's normal. For me, anyway, where I live. I don't see any crossing that leads into the middle. But I might have missed it, you know, there could be some out there that do that. But I don't know where that's the case. I mean, I don't have that many roundabouts, so I could literally check them all. So this one has no crossings into the middle. There used to be a roundabout there, but it's gone. So there's one over here now. No crossings into the middle. Oh, maybe you're seeing this. It's, yeah. That's what you're seeing. I can't do anything about that. It looks like there's crossings into the middle because of the level of detail when you zoom out. So the LOD, when you zoom out, puts them in. But they're not really there. When I zoom in, you don't see them. You know what I mean? It's just a level of detail thing. But I think that's what you're seeing. That's probably what you're seeing. Because I'm pretty sure if I zoom into all of these, you do not see any. It's brand new and it's coming October the 20th. Well, I'll check it out then. I'll write down just as a thing I might check out. I had a different idea of what I thought Scrap Mechanic is in my head then. Well, I'll have a look into it. I've written it down. People are upgrading around the park already. Nice. Alright, cool. Let's continue. Park life. Give me the pathway, please. Are there pathways in here? These are zoo park, amusement park path, nature reserve. I like to use a bit of both actually, and it depends on where I do them. What are these ones? Liberal arts path. Well, fancy. Trade school path. What's the differences really? By the way, seeing as we're just trying to make things look nice, let's just brighten up the day. Let's see. Trade school path. That was the trade school path of decorations. Liberal arts path. And then what would be our standard one that we were using? It's this one. If we want to have it with decorations as well. I mean, there ain't much difference. I kind of like them. That one. It has like a brighter tarmac. Liberal arts path. Let's do that then. Why not? Park life has paths in the menu under the menu. So in parks, park life. Oh yeah, when I had that turned on, that's park buildings. That's why it was removing it for me. Thank you. I'm glad I looked at this anyway though. We can use these. Can we get your thoughts on Tectonica now that the video is out? I don't really have much thoughts on it, but I've only played a couple hours. It seems good, but it is in early access, so I'd probably wait. Well, I mean, it depends. I think it'd be really good for multiplayer. It seems to have a kind of interesting story. I like the destructive terrain. The fact that you can just carve out your entire, like... That's something that people ask for in Satisfactory a lot. It's like, can I just burrow into a mountain? So it's got some cool, unique ideas. It's almost like a cross, and people have mentioned this. I didn't want to say it in the video, but it is a cross between Satisfactory and Factorio, because they use, like, inserters. I'm not a fan of that. I like the fact that belts can just go into machines in Satisfactory. That's something that bothered me. It doesn't bother me, but it's just added complexity, I suppose, to something like Factorio, where it's like, oh, you've got a little arm that has to come out and grab and put things onto belts. So it just depends if you like that. If you want more complexity, then that would be for you. But for me, I think that just adds a little bit of busy work that I'm not really looking for, personally speaking. But I actually like the concept, like the world being underground, the different kind of resources that you have under there. Like, I didn't get to go too far in that one video, but I went further myself. And you will end up, you know, you have to look for these ruins, these different sites where there's ruins. And that's going to take you through, like, basically what's interesting about that. There we go. What's interesting about that, and why I think that's kind of an interesting idea, just in general. Oh, so finicky. I want to get rid of both of these things. Is just because it's like almost like Deep Rock Galactic. If you ever played that, you have your 3D scanner. You know that there's another cavern that you have to break through. You need to get the tools together to be able to do that. And I like the way the tech tree is done. I much prefer the tech tree to something like Satisfactory, for instance. So I guess those are, my thoughts are kind of what I was saying in the video. You know, it is a sponsored video, to be fair, but I only really cover sponsors. I get offered sponsors for loads of different games, but I try to cover the ones where I think like, oh yeah, this is actually like, this makes sense for my audience, and also I like it, where I think it has value. Dude, what's wrong? Why can't I just get this to be a solid path? Hang on. Nope. Anyway, those are my thoughts on that. I can't, I guess, describe that and play the game at the same time because I'm terrible. Alright, so if this is to come straight, roughly 180 is about there. So you need to go to about there and then curve. What am I latching? I'm latching onto some sort of grid when I don't want to be. There we go. How hard was that? Okay, cool. Anyway, how about a mini roundabout in the park with a gazebo? Or a food truck in the middle? Yeah. Could be a nice one up here, maybe just to do... actually, yeah, maybe the joining point here would be good for that. Just trying to think where it would work. Yeah, I've got an idea. Alright, cool. I like that idea. So, let's just... I'm sorry to be so indecisive with this, but that's what these streams are for. There's going to be a lot of trial and error. If we bring in the park here, and this could be like the roundabout area, like you said. Just grab that. Bring this down. Something like there. So what's the best way to do this first? Well, can we use the roundabout tool actually on pathways? I don't see why not. I'll just continue this down that way. I can reshape it in a moment, but let's see if this works. Apparently it does. Yikes. Okay, well that was good. So I guess it was doing it with a... Yeah, that's why. Need to give it a park thing, but I don't think we can. That's a shame. Well, I guess if we give it... Can you upgrade from a regular road to a park thing? Probably not. No. Just thought maybe. Alright, let's get rid of that. Okay, we'll have to design it ourselves then. What about a pedestrian bridge over the lake? That's a good idea too. Yeah, we could do that. Okay, I would like to make this a roundabout, but I don't know how. Because I feel like we'll just have to go around in a big circle and then shape it. I know you could do like the anchor thing. I guess we could do that. Alright, so we go straight... What is latching on here? There's something there. Weird node. Just get rid of it. Alright, good. Okay, so if we go out in a straight line, just like... Oh my god. What is it? What's there? I have my grid thing turned off. I don't know why it's doing this. It's trying to make me lose my mind. Okay, something like that. Let's just shape this just a little bit better. Okay. Okay, so we've got the shape. Now I can just move the nodes into position, so... Where is it going to come from? This is going to come down that way, that's going to come that way, and then... Yep. Alright, we're getting there. And I could change it so it doesn't have the trees in the middle as well. Maybe we could upgrade it into this one. Please don't break. Okay, good. Alright, let's just connect these in next, and then we can figure out where it needs to move to. Okay, we did it. But I just need to, obviously, just clean it up just a little bit if we can. And we have the node controller, maybe that can shape these just a bit better. That didn't really do it the way I wanted to. Something like that. That okay? It's kind of okay. I feel like it's as good as I can probably get it. Without spending a ridiculous amount of time on it. And then, yeah, we could put some food trucks or something in the center there, right? We'll do the adding detail stuff just after. You and Corrales are the best YouTubers when it comes to City Skylines. Oh, thank you. Congrats how you made the city look this good. Greetings from Belgrade. Hey, thanks, Zone. Does a roundabout for a pedestrian path make sense? Yeah, I've seen them before. It's not really a, quote, roundabout, right? It's more just like, there's almost like a mini plaza here for, like we said, food trucks, that kind of thing. So it's really just a circular path that goes around it, if that makes sense. So I've seen it. I think it's a nice idea. Just trying to think now, where could the bridge go over the lake? Or the pond. We could bring the pond into the side here, and then this could like naturally come over it or something. That might look kind of nice. Just trying to think where else it could really go, especially with the way we've done the hills. There's no real easy way to cut across. I think we should go around it first, and then we can decide where would make sense to go over. Now, the way I'm doing that, that is ground forces the ground to follow the elevation of the road. Try this one. That still kind of does the same. Not that I really mind. And what's the other one? Forces the use of elevated pieces. Oh yeah. Okay. Keep it like that then. And then we can raise the water level to bring it up a bit higher as well. Okay, taking shape. You're welcome, thanks. How about a bicycle track on the periphery? What do you mean by periphery? On the outskirts of the entire thing? What do you mean going through it? I mean like inside mill grounds, inside this area here? What do you mean like outside? Outside. I'm rooting for a bridge made from a path from the zoo. Yeah, we could do that. Just trying to think, where would it make sense? I guess there's a slightly tighter point here, so maybe the bridge could just go straight across that area. I haven't never really done that before, so we'll see how it looks. Zoo path decorations. Let's just try the regular zoo path and just come straight across. So we use bridge. Force the use of elevated pieces. Ooh, that actually kind of looks cool. Zoo path is a good idea because it has that, yeah, the leaves. Kind of nice. So with that water, can we just raise this slightly? I'm gonna bring it right up. There we go, it's filling up now. Nice. Inside the grounds, but on the outskirts. Yeah, that could work. A bicycle path. Would they use it with bikes when it's inside of a park? I assume so. Let's just finish this path first, I guess. Curve it slightly and then attach it in there. Alright, so turning back on my contour lines, we got another little hill here. Could be nice for a gazebo. I might remove some of the decorations on some of these pathways, especially the smaller ones, because they would be more suited, I think, to having just, well, you could even do the nature path thing. I quite like. Just trying to picture that bike path. Jelly bean now. Yeah. Looks like a horseshoe. Pedestrian roundabout over the lake. No, you're insane. Usually all the path and road in the game is self-leveling terrain. Unless I'm not wrong, only Nature Reserve path doesn't have self-leveling. Yeah, I don't know. Is it when you turn on Anarchy that doesn't happen? Is that the case? Let's just see. Nope, it still happens anyway. What about like this? Yeah, it seems to level it up either way. I don't mind. Yep. Looking good though. This is a great idea. The bridge. Shout out to whoever said that. Alright, cool. Yeah, we could put tons of stuff along here as well. Alright, so let's... It seems like it makes sense to use this crossing point here. We'll go along the base of this little hill thing. Just a little bit out. Might just shape that just a little bit better to get slightly closer to that house. We'll put in some bigger trees as well. As we snake along. Alright. Maybe I could just leave it like that. Let's try the bike path now. Not 100% sold on this, but I wasn't sold on the lake bridge either, so we'll see. Can I turn off... Oh yeah, this node snapping is on here. That probably doesn't help. Now we can always move this so it blends with the pavement. And put a fence around the whole place too, so it'll be inside the fence. I don't know, guys. I'm not sold on that. Just because the idea of it... Yeah, I don't know. Going around the whole edge. I feel like it should come in somewhere, though, as well, you know? But maybe not. I don't know. If you're going in at this gate and you want to go... I guess it's still kind of nice. Nice little journey. I would say maybe... Would it be weird to do that? To come up and go around the hill? Yeah, I feel like that's kind of weird. Let's just brighten up the day again. Am I using assets? No. Oh yeah, I forgot to update the description actually. All the City Skylines videos I've done have the correct mod list. This one, I haven't put it in the description actually. I'll have to do that next time. Okay, so that's... the bike lane connects from there to there. Let's just shape it to put it right next to the path. Wherever we can. So it blends. It's not going to blend there, but that's okay. But everywhere else they should be able to. And there'll be a fence going along here too. In just a moment. Hey, that guy's doing it already. He's loving it. It's barely even down. It's changing right before his very eyes, and he's cycling it. Alright. Pretty good. And let's just put the fence in so I can see how it looks before we do even more of it all the way around. Turn off the contour lines as well. Remember, we haven't added trees or little buildings yet, so the place is obviously going to look bare, just for a moment. So we have our park fence. Let's just use that. Now, we'll need to use Anarchy for this. Oh, it's just going to delete the... Is there any way to prevent it just deleting that right now? No, it's going to just do it anyway. I'll have to put this path... Sorry, the fence along the pathway, and then I'll move it in, and it'll be fine then, but... It's just funny, it'll just delete that path, the cycle path if I do it too close. And then we can bend it and curve it and make it look a bit nicer too. Ah, damn it. Deleted it. Can barely even see what I'm doing. Hang on. Okay, so let's try that again. Just finish that bit off there. Right, now we have to shape the fence, unfortunately. How about crossings at the gates? Do you mean crossings that lead across the road? Yeah, I would agree. That's a good idea. Alright, let's just shape this fence super quick. So we can push this in now without affecting that bike path. And we can bend the fence slightly. Try to do it kind of quick. I know it can be a little tedious. And then maybe check in on a few things. Oh yeah, I forgot about my stock market. Let's see if greasy gasoline is doing good. We're making loads of money just sitting here. And the oil industry's leveled up. It's probably out of oil now. Oh, I'm hearing houses just loving life around the park. Alright, almost done. Takes insane concentration. Maybe bring that further out there. Put a tree or something there to make it look good. Or look a bit better. Can you turn off roads? There we go. Can't seem to find that node. Yeah, weird. I'll just reconnect that one, I guess. Bear with me. I'll catch my chat in just one sec. Alright, man, all of this for one park. Takes time. Alright, cool. That's good enough. We can add a few trees in just along the edges of the thing as well, where there's patches. I mean, I can fill that in actually with the surface tool, although I think it might start eroding the cycle path if you're not careful. Yeah, so it doesn't blend very well. You need a series of mods to make that work. Can't be bothered figuring out that stuff out yet. I'm too, I don't know, lazy, I guess. Alright, anyway, turn on and off collision. Oh, that probably would have done it. Yeah. Well, we'll do that for the rest of it anyway, going around, so that's good to know. Alright, so just to really quickly take a look here. There we go, we have someone cycling along, going super fast. It looks like he doesn't have a bike. I know he does. It's just really faint. You get that kind of motion blur when he moves, so it's hard to see. And it's straight through the fence, but that's okay. We could leave a little side gate, which could be kind of cool, because I think they're all going to do that. This path does connect into the actual path over there, but they seem to be just taking a little side route off of it. So make our own little gate, I think. We'll grab this, we'll turn off, like you said, collision. Yeah, that's kind of better, right? Yeah. Thanks, man, that helps a lot. So we'll just bring it to right there. And then it looks kind of like a little side entrance they come out of. In fact, we can bring it even closer in. What the hell is this? Tree anarchy is not on. I don't know why that happens sometimes. I think it's the undo tool. When you undo things sometimes, it's like they just pop back in. It like resets the vegetation in the area, I think, by undoing some of the things I was doing there. Alright, looking good though. We're getting somewhere. We could even, if we see someone else. Oh yeah, I forgot this bus stop's here. Might have made sense to put the entrances near the bus stops. We could still do that. Could put one near here. Very fertile roads. Bypath is kind of growing on me. Yeah, it is. It's growing on me too. I wasn't a believer. Look at little Sally. She loves it. And she's going to use our little side entrance. There you go, Sally. Out you go. Where are you off to now? So I guess, yeah, depending on where she's going, if we have this path wrapping all the way around, like we said, little Sally's going to be loving her little bike rides in the park as she goes to school or wherever. In fact, where is she going? It'd be kind of good to know. Going to school. Yeah, I was right. Going to school. School is over there. So maybe a little entrance on this side would be... Ah, it doesn't really matter. I don't need to be doing that. Well, is it? I don't know. Maybe it's not a bad idea. I was kind of thinking like it's too many entrances, but I don't see why that would be an issue. Just add a few more, right? There's no rule. I guess I kind of just thought you want to space them out generally, but not really. Another side gate right there, so Sally can enjoy the park even for a little bit further distance. And then we have... Ah, yeah, just remembered. So that fence is going to block the exit. That's okay, we just delete a segment of it. Yeah, see, some weird... like you said, fertile roads. Alright, we'll put another side entrance in here, and then we can connect our fence in. And that way people can come out. When they get the bus, they just go straight in. Really close by. Not too bad. Alright, cool. Taking shape. Message retracted from Kevin. I didn't quite see it, sorry. If you had an airport DLC, I think their concrete slab could use to cover some hole like that. People say that, but I guess I do have the airport DLC. I've got all the DLCs. But I don't think I have airports unlocked yet. So that's why I don't have it yet. So when I get to Capital City, Cargo Harbor and Harbor, Eco Water Treatment Plant, get a few different things. Helicopter Pathway, helicopters as a service. Cargo Hub. Oh my god, I haven't looked at any of this stuff. So I played this game a decent amount, but not like as much as a lot of other YouTubers. I'm definitely like more on the amateur side of things. But I've never gone above I've never gotten to Colossal City. I've gotten to 30,000. It's the biggest city I ever made. Now I'm running mods this time around that's called Realistic Population. So population is way different in terms of how we level up at all. So my whole progression is like kind of out of whack with what it would normally be. But yeah, we can see airport is there in 60,000. So maybe that's when I'm able to get the assets to do with airports as well. But I heard people say that. But also I'm using texture mods, right? So I'm using I can't even remember what it's called. The theme. I can't remember where you see that. I guess when you're logging into the game for the first time, we're using the realistic temperate theme. And that theme changes the base pavement texture. Now, I don't know if that means it's going to be the same for the airport one, or if the airport one still looks like it would in vanilla. If that's the case, it wouldn't fit then. But I'll try it out when I get to it, but unfortunately we're just not quite there yet. Anyway, will the bike path connect to the new gate? Yes, yeah. Oh, right. The one that I just put down. That's a good point. No. Alright, thank you for that. I would have missed that one. Alright, we've got another one here as well. Let's just bring this one down and around then. Try to speed up now that we have the idea, right? Alright, let's just shape it. Bring it just a little closer to the edge. I don't mind little pockets every now and then. I mean, it'd be nice to get rid of all the pockets of gaps. But you'll be curving a lot. The way the gates work, can't move them. Oh, we can actually, just a little bit. Alright, cool. That's a nice one. Yeah, happy with that. Let's bring this gate forward, see if it just still behaves okay. I just don't want them to ever cycle through the fence, you know, that's what I'm trying to avoid. Might be... Yeah, you can see trees are just popping back in. It's so weird. I wonder, could I just get rid of... That's been a constant pain for me. It's just trees growing back like that, just where I don't want them to. I think it's because there's all these like little, you know, buds, effectively, that grow into trees, and they probably still exist below the road in certain places, like here. I think that's what's happening. They just like pop into place. And unfortunately, there's no like a good enough tool. I can use like a rectangular tool, so it kind of makes it tricky to get rid of them. Anyway, it's not a big deal. That's something I can just focus on when they pop up and get rid of them, but I was just trying to get ahead of the problem. Alright, cool. Anyways, let's focus back on this area. So, let's just keep continuing the fence around. So we have a little fence gap there. And collision's off now, so that should make life a little easier. We're still node snapping though. Can I turn that off? Go open anarchy. Don't seemingly Can't seemingly turn that off for some reason. Don't know why. Not sure even what we're like snapping onto, you know? The center of a bike path, I guess. Alright, cool. Let's just shape this back in. You might want to shape the path after you put the fence in to make it a little easier to place the fence. I guess, but I think the bike path has the same issue. It's because they're both considered like they both have like the same waypoint spline tool thing, so they latch onto each other either way. I don't think it would make much difference, but I could be wrong. The time play, I guess it doesn't matter. Alright, so don't want to select road. Alright, that was a quick and easy one. Bring this a bit further down. I'm guessing we might need gaps between the fences everywhere, depending on how they come out with their bikes. Alright, let's do the bike path, continue that over. Yeah, I think turning off collision also has that issue where things come back. So there's another bus stop here, which is good, right next to this other entrance, which is obviously totally planned. Right, so let's just push this down a little further, just a little bit. Alright, pretty good. This down as well. Alright, cool. Let's just continue with the bike path. So yeah, here's an interesting thing. Where does it go from here? I guess maybe a final exit could just be here, and then there's just going to be a fence wrapping around. Or should the bike path go along? I guess it should continuously go all the way around. That would make the most sense. If I was designing this park, which I am, that's I guess what I would do. Little up on the hill there, just ever so slightly. We maybe... shift that over just slightly, and we can shape that a bit later. Let's increase that strength. I feel like we can push a bit further, no? It's really struggling to do it. Also, that texture looks so bad. I wish we could get some nice ones for that. Alright, it's right on the edge because we're going to be pushing that bike path in, and there'll be trees between the two as well, covering up this, the look of that. Okay, it's right on the level of acceptability, I would say. Alrighty, just hear me out. A moat. No way. You might want to shape the path. Oh, I read that already. Do you have the network tool mod or whatever it's called? Yes, I'm aware that you can do things like create these. If you select your things, it tries to kind of create curves for you. I'd rather just manually do it in this instance. I do it with roads, but I feel like when it comes to fences and stuff, I've often seen them just flip out and act really weird. I've never really used node controller renewal specifically. But I use the network multitool mod. So you have things to arrange at slope. Arrange at line actually tries to make it a line, not necessarily a curve. But it does help shape curves. And then you can make a brand new curve with the create curve mode, which is really good actually. But I'm just not, unfortunately, familiar enough with the game to be that... Like, I'm not that good with that stuff yet. I'm trying to get better, but it takes me a while to learn it. The tools are actually like really... in-depth, I suppose, and they, in my opinion, take a lot of time to learn them properly. Because I'll see people and YouTubers doing them, and then when I'm trying to get to it, I'm just like forgetting like how certain things are used, or not necessarily thinking of them all the time when they're most convenient. Let's bring this down a bit. So we're creating that gap between the two now, so we have this bike path going, and maybe even that fence will cut in then. Alright, so basically I'm just a normal player. Just a regular guy. Now, can we raise this a bit? Doesn't seem like it. Yeah, pressing page up and page down doesn't seem to be doing it. Just wanted them to be roughly the same height because they're a little off. Okay, that's better. Yeah, it's coming together nicely. I agree. Again, let's just brighten up the day. Hope everything else is going okay. Yeah, so obviously we're not building anything new, so population and all that kind of stuff is stagnated, which is good. Because what that means is we're probably just getting a higher level of education over time. So I actually might make a note of this, and we can maybe check it after an hour, after the next hour. So 51, 26, 13, and 10. So 10% highly educated. I'm pretty happy to see that. Tempting to pop in another office block at the back there. Oh, not enough workers. Not enough educated workers. Oh, yeah. Well, there's not much I can do then. We'll have to just wait. Waiting on all of them to get more and more educated. After this place, we're going to go over there, and I've got some ideas for that college area. Anyway, did you ever use the parallel mode tool? I've never found a need for it. Yeah, so I know that it's there. I've used it before. But I've never really found a need for it. Again, I just don't think I'm sophisticated enough to be using it, I suppose, in my designs. Like I said, there's, in my opinion, far better YouTubers out there that are like really, really creative and good with their how they use the tools in these mods. And like I said, that guy Imperator I was watching today, and I was just like, it's just like watching, I don't know, an artist basically paint really well. And you're like, well, I can't paint like that, you know? I can see what he's doing, but I can't recreate that. It's just like really good. Because yeah, one interesting thing he did was, so I guess when it's most useful is going to be with highways. But other than that, I've never really seen a need for it. But I haven't built out a highway yet. This is just the one that kind of came with the game, or came with the map. But something that really creative that he did was he had a train line or a bus line running between his highway, which I just thought was cool. And the way he like branched it off from the highway was just interesting. I've just never seen those kind of things before. It looks so stressful to play it live. It would give me anxiety because I'd be afraid to mess up and piss off the chat. I'm brave, and that's okay. It's all good. That's why I'm just focusing on little details. Not much can go wrong just building out parks. It's because a lot of people ask me to do, hey, could you like beautify some areas and things like that? And I think it's because so many other YouTubers are like really, really good at that stuff, and I'm just not quite there yet. I'm good at it within Anno because Anno's built on a grid. It's pretty easy, I think, to make things look good in that game. In this game, there's so many different tools and so many mods and so many assets and all these things to get used to. It's a really, really overwhelming thing to get good at, especially if you're going to be playing it in front of other people. It's one thing just doing it yourself, right? But playing it in front of other people, it's like a whole other ball game at that point. Alright, anyway, not to get too side distracted, I just want to continue and finish this bike path. So we've just got one last little thing. We want to close the loop. And already we've got ideas that I never would have come up with. Like the bridge going across the lake looks really nice. The bike path going around it, I was skeptical. Starting to come together and look quite good. The roundabout with stuff in the middle, I think that'd be nice too. So yeah, these are all user-made ideas. And that's the great thing with doing stuff like this on stream. I don't have to wait until the video goes out to get the feedback. You know, you guys can just tell me straight away what you have ideas for, or what you like and what you don't like when I have questions about, should we do X, Y, or Z? So that kind of stuff is cool. Your Anno cities are beautiful. Yeah, so Anno, in my opinion, makes it easy to make things look good because you get a load of pre-made assets that fit on a grid. So ultimately, all you have to think about is how do these relate to each other like a jigsaw? What pieces can fit together that would make sense? And then just orientate them the right way and also just shape out your city based on that. You know, it's easier because it's all on a grid. The great thing about this game is it's not on a grid, but it's super creative. But it just makes it... the other thing on top of it, though, is just the mods make it so insane. So It'd be one thing to make a city look kind of nice in vanilla, which I think it would be a lot easier in terms of like, quote, looking nice, like as nice as it can look in vanilla, because you've got more limited options. But then when you start thinking about mods and all of that, then it becomes like, well, now you can literally make a realistic looking city, so you could spend forever doing it. So yeah, anyway, so we've got this like little side path going up here. I'm not too sure. Should it just like come down and loop back into itself? That's what I'm thinking. Let's try that and see if it looks good. In this instance, the parallel tool might actually be a good shout. I'm hoping we can get away with not using it. Actually, just one thing. Let me push this further up now. Alright, so it's parallel to the bike. Oh, we curve. I'll just do that just to shape it, and then I can just manually do it because I'm so bad at using that tool. Oh no! Oh, I deleted it. Oh, goddamn. I undo that. Nope. Alright, give me this. There we go, it's reconnected. Alright, good. So we want to push this pretty much as far down as it can. Push this over towards that area. Put this up. Alright. People really underestimate how hard this stuff is because really experienced players on YouTube make it look easy. That's exactly it, yeah. It's super fun to watch though, obviously, because it's so satisfying just seeing people like... That Imperator guy, I gotta say, shout out again to him, because he'll just keep his camera up here the whole time. He won't even move it. And he designs out a whole thing just like on pixels, you know, he's doing all these like complicated pathways just like this. And then eventually the camera will just swap to this position, he'll do it again. And it only, you know, it makes time lapses really good because he's not constantly looking, keep seeing does he have his height and everything correct. He just has it correct. It's like really crazy how he does it so well. So, yeah, shout out again. But my playthrough was really meant to be, quote, a playthrough as well. It's not just about building a beautiful city. It's about creating your own problems and then trying to solve them. That's what, at least, I feel like that's how normal people play the game. It's how I played it, so... Alright, should we leave it like that and start putting our fence around this, and then we can actually start populating the area, maybe remove trees or add them in where they're needed. So we could check that also, again, the land value. Yeah, now that's looking a lot better. And how are we looking for the parks tab? I don't know if this will necessarily count as much. Yeah, we're seeing a lot more blue houses, but still a decent amount of red ones. They probably just do need their own local little areas. But it's nice to see it's been getting better. You deserve 1 million subs? Thank you. You'll be soon there as well. Well, I am learning. One thing I've said at the beginning of my series is, and it's the same with like Satisfactory and other games, I do get good eventually. I'm confident in saying that. I'm not someone that really bigs themselves up a lot, but I do eventually get good, where I look back and I go, I've learned a lot, and it's a lot better now. And it's almost like, I wish I could only restart. If only I could have put 400 or 500 hours in at the beginning. But anyway. What is the name of the YouTuber that you keep mentioning? I think his name is Imperator. So it's like Impearatur, I think. Something like that. It's like Imperator, but not spelled the way you think. And I believe he's German. So, oh yeah, this gate has not been hooked up yet. Now, we've got a big hill in between us here. So, this will probably just have to be reshaped ultimately. Yeah, in fact, let's just kind of flatten it out for a sec. I want to connect into the bridge from here, so we'll go around and like in. So let's just soften it down. God, it's so sensitive. Alright, cool. Do we need anything else? Anything else in there? So we just have to do the fence. That's the last bit for the outer bit, and then we can actually start populating inside. So just grab this fence. Let's start going around. Again, try to be a little bit quicker. Spam it down, and then we can shape it afterwards. And we'll remove those trees. Oh, please stop latching onto things. Alright, I'll just leave that where it is. Alright, it's pretty much a straight line from here. Darn, City Planner Plays is really interesting to watch because he gives a lot of real-world knowledge on how this stuff will get done. Yeah, I've seen a few of his videos. I haven't watched too much. I watched him do a little bit of... It just comes up in my recommended these days. I guess because I'm putting content out. But it was, he's like doing Nicolay Bay, I think it's called. And it was just like a random episode. I watched maybe 10 or 15 minutes. Again, with the Imperator guy, I only watched like 10 or 15 minutes. I don't really watch that many... I don't really have time to watch much gaming on YouTube, especially for games that I already cover. But it's always interesting to see just like what other YouTubers do. But yeah, City Planner Plays, he's all over it. He's on the grind, as I would say, for City Skylines 2 news content. You know, they'll put out a video that's like 5 minutes, and they'll be right there with a 45-minute breakdown of what everything you've just seen. Alright, cool. That's such a lot of paths for a relatively small park. I agree, but I would say that it's actually not as small as it might seem. It's decent enough in size. I don't know. I live, so a lot of people, I guess it depends where you live, right? On how things are, how you reference things. A lot of my references come from nearby where I live. So let's just check out Horsham, and I'll show you on the map. Bear with me one sec. Ugh. I've got hay fever. Alright. Horsham. Horsham has a really nice park. But yeah, it's difficult to see the size and see, like, is it much bigger than what we're looking at? Oh, you're right. Actually, well, there's a path that goes around the whole thing. I was more thinking of this area here. This is where there's like a few different amenities. There's 4 tennis courts. Bowls Club. I don't even know what that is. There's like this is a big gym, I think, with an outdoor pool. And then it's just like, yeah, a bunch of different paths that all lead to this area. There's like a little duck pond in the center. And then there's these are like for football and stuff. But this is often the references that I point to when people say like, excuse me, they say like, I don't know how your roundabouts only have 2 lanes. And I'm like, almost all of them have 2 lanes. And almost all of them have like no road markings whatsoever. So that's just the way it is. And there is roundabouts everywhere. Everything is a roundabout because it's England. So that's just the way it is. There's very few junctions, like generally speaking. It's usually roundabouts to roundabouts to roundabouts. Pretty much everywhere. In the weirdest ways possible. Roundabouts that lead into roundabouts that lead onto motorways. I remember I'm doing my driving lessons around this area and it's like, oh yeah, you know, this has very specific rules about how you get around it, because it is technically a roundabout. The craziest one, I actually don't know where it is on the map, but we've driven to it a few times. It's just literally a square. This is it. I found it. It's a square. This is considered a roundabout. How weird is that? It's just a big square road, but you have to treat it like a roundabout when you're going around it. So if you're coming along this way, and you want to take a left and go this way, you have to like stop here and wait for cars that are coming around. And if there's nothing coming, then you can go. You know what I mean? It's like, it is a roundabout, but it's just a square. So that might be why some of my designs are strange. Roundaboutception. I agree. It looks like there's like loads of paths dominating it, because we don't have much else in there. So let me just finish this fence. We were just shaping it, right? So we shaped that area there. This one is pretty good. It's all done to there. We just have to shape it around this side. Pull that down a bit. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so I guess our fence is basically done. I mean, save for maybe a few little issues every now and then. God damn. So the thing I want to do is just turn back on collision. I feel like that's why the trees keep popping back in. And let's just brighten it up just one more time. Yeah, it's getting a little ridiculous with those trees. Okay. There's so many there. I'm just going to have to do the kind of grab all tool. I like leaving some in behind the houses, but we're just going to have to get rid of them. There's too many. Life's too short for this amount of trees popping in everywhere. Okay, we can put some back in later if we want to. Okay, so I wanted to remove some of the trees that are on this path before we go any further. So we use the liberal arts path for this one. We're going to switch to the liberal arts without the decorations. Hit the upgrade tool. Oh, does the upgrade tool not work? Oh, you are kidding me, dude. Ah, oh, that sucks. Because basically I don't want absolutely every single bit having little trees on them. I think it's a bit strange. Especially since they're so uniform. Oh my god, that sucks. Is there no way to just do the upgrade, no? Does anyone know? Am I going to add more vegetation? Of course. Hey, Spartan. My fellow Americans can't handle roundabouts. Such a simple solution made difficult by simple minds. Yeah, well, I wouldn't go that far. But I was going to say, when my American friends were over and they were staying with us, when Rosie was driving and we were going around roundabouts, they were just like, holy shit, it's so... There is so many, and a lot of them are complicated, and we're following a sat-nav. And my friend was just like, I'm sure, obviously, he'd be fine getting around it. Hit the blue. That's not the upgrade. Oh my god, I'm such an idiot. Thank you so much, crazy old cat lady. Nearly missed it. I was like, what the hell? Anyway, long story short, they were just saying, like, it just seems really chaotic to get around. You have to keep moving around a junction while you're looking at what everyone else is doing. And it's like, oh, normally we just, like, wait till the light says go, and we go, right? But in this, it's like, the very last thing I just want to show, just because it is relevant, and for me, anyway, because I'm learning to drive at the moment, which people are joking in the comments that they're like, oh, you know, I'll have traffic backing up on a street, and I'm getting comments like, oh, I still haven't passed that test, eh? Like, okay. You like to take me down a notch. But yeah, just to show this again really quickly, somewhere here. Again, I live near Crawley. I'll be driving around here when doing my lessons. Just trying to find a relevant area. Unfortunately, see, it's so funny. I'm driving around and he's like, oh, do you start to recognize the roads? I'm like, dude, I have no idea where I am. And we're like 5 minutes from my house. Because I just never go out. Yeah, I can't find it. But it's things where there's like a roundabout like this, but there would also be like a slipway, but then also like a pedestrian crossing. So the green lights are like for the pedestrian crossing. It's not for you, so... That was one that kind of caught the Americans out, for instance, when Rosie, like, stopped at, like, just pretty much on the green light. And it's like, oh, no. We still have a give way for, like, letting people coming off the roundabout. We have to wait to merge on. And he's like, but the green light's, like, right in front of you. I'm like, yes, but it's not for us. It's for people walking. It's just one of those things. So I would agree that roundabouts are a good thing, but it's also a little too chaotic here in the UK with how some of the things have been designed. And hey, Spartan. Or, I mean, two hands. Alright, anyway, so, there we go. Let's turn off contour line. So that's what we got, basically. If we just hide our UI for a sec. We have now a bicycle lane going all the way around inside. We have a little fence wrapping around it as well. We have some hills, we have little trees. We need to just do that upgrade tool now. And just remove some of those trees in certain places. So I think just in the smaller... That area there is maybe fine. That one's good too. We need to turn off collision. Turn on anarchy. See, even just doing the upgrade here is going to delete that street, which is such a damn shame. I might have to do some of that on my own. Maybe we'll just leave those ones. They're kind of nice, those ones, I'll admit. They can go. Space already occupied. Don't know what that means. Yeah, so just decluttering some of those trees just a little bit. We'll add some of our own in. Actually, that's kind of nice. Every second. Oh, I can't really do that everywhere though, I guess. Just depends where. All right. Anyway, yeah, we have really simple roundabouts in California. Usually 3 or 4 intersections, and folks just can't handle them. Yeah, well, that's a good point. Actually, though, California is like a whole other beast, isn't it, though, for just the amount of traffic. Or at least LA. Hey, Ira Nella. Sorry if I've missed any chat there, by the way. And Scott Farrell. And shout out to all the new subs we got as well. Okay, let's just check in on some stuff. Right. That's kind of what we've got. So now we have to decide what props we're going to place in here. So it is also a park, like it's a DLC park, I mean, mill grounds. It has its various entrances. And the more entertainment value we put in here, the better it is for all the people living around here. Then we want to put in our own trees as well. So let's just have a look. So this is going to be a level 1 park, but we've already got a park with loads of other things. So they've leveled up already, given us extra tools. A climbing frame. Could maybe look nice in there. Oh, we need to turn these back on. Anyway, sorry, I've missed a bit of chat there. So, Suburbia always look the exact same. I don't blame you. Anarchy is off, by the way, if you mean... I've been turning it on and off, flipping it on and off. So the stereotypes are true. For America, yeah. Or for California, true. Or maybe your area, but my area, the States handles roundabouts just fine. Exactly, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I feel like... I mean, I haven't been everywhere in America, right? But you hear that California especially is just a little bit rough for traffic and vehicles and stuff. Generally speaking. I wouldn't tar everyone with the same brush necessarily regarding roundabouts and stuff. Actually, let's bring it down this way. No point curving the road if the thing that's on the side of it isn't curved itself, I would say. People are moving in, people are upgrading, they're like, yes, this place is becoming amazing. We have a climbing frame. Right, and then we were going to put in some food trucks and stuff in the middle. So we've got all these like random props. Do we have any food truck props? We do. Almost feel like there should be paving in there or something, maybe. Which you could do. These are pretty close to each other. Food stall 1. I don't know where food stall 2 is. That seems to be all I've got. There must be more in here, I'm assuming. Type food, I guess. And then it's a prop. Alright, so these are all the food trucks that I've got. There's another one, a grill. That's a good one. Alright. Cool. Gentrifying the area? I barely even know what the word gentrifying means. The state I moved to has difficulty driving. I can't imagine these people dealing with a roundabout. Climate frame increased rent by 300. Alright, I see. Take it 3 hours to get 25 miles. Might also be neat to have the food trucks doing... Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, we'll put other stuff on the other sides too. Does the goat reply? I do. Hello. Thank you for all... I do miss things. I try not to. Thank you for all the series you do. Appreciate that, Olivia. No worries. Listen to all those dings from leveling up. It sounds great. Break tree. Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. Tree in the middle for sure. The show. Which is why I got rid of this. So, I guess we'll have a look here. Eastern cottonwood trees. Probably just go with alders. They seem to just look pretty good. Well, we'll put the trees in once we've decided where everything else is going to go. Something like that's good. We've got an apple tree. Okay, let's just bring this a little further out to the edge. Away from that bin. That I have no control over. Now, there's something I was looking for. Is like a tiling that goes on the ground. Because it might look kind of decent in there. Maybe. I don't know if it would blend with the road or sit on top of it. I feel like it would just sit on top of it. It's decal. Let's just see with this. Yeah, see, it sits on top of the road. I don't know if I can sink it down below the road. I don't think so. Not good enough with the game to know how to do these things. Yet. So we'll leave that. Because I could spend a very long time doing that and getting nowhere. So we'll just go back to the park tools for a second. So, yeah. So, seeing as this is a bit of a kid's area, right? It's a climbing frame. Maybe... we could just kind of naturally extend this out. So another sand pit. There's a sand pit there. Another sand pit. Sand pit that's circular. Oh yeah, and a place to sit and eat when you get your stuff, right? Would make sense. Maybe next to the river? Or the pond? Then we have to look for streetlights. We need to get the ones that look like the ones we have. These ones. They're the same, I think. Is that weird? Just being out in the middle of the grass? Kind of a little strange. Oh yeah. Now we've just leveled up. We've leveled up our creativity. Maybe just on those two that are further out. And then when it gets dark, they should come on. The thing with these things, all this stuff is, though, no one uses them. It's just there for visuals, but it is what it is, I guess. Anyway, because if you're going realistic, parking there would be a pain. Yeah, I'm trying to make a realistic game or a city, but generally speaking, parking is one thing that's kind of not going to be that realistic in this. I mean, cars disappear and appear out of nowhere sometimes as they pull into different buildings. And there's a way with TMPE to actually make the game use more realistic parking AI. So if you go down to one of your mods here, interesting. You go to gameplay, enable advanced vehicle AI and parking AI. And this basically means that more realistic parking means that more people, you'll see a lot less of cars popping in and out, and people do try to park in places. And then you actually get a legend on your screen showing you like how busy the buildings are for parking. So you use this screen, the same one, traffic. Instead of just green and red on the roads, you get green and red on the buildings. Well, I activated that because the comments asked me to, just for a bit. Everything got gridlocked within like 2 minutes, so not going to do that. It would be cool to do it in a playthrough going forward, but because I didn't have that at the beginning, it's way too difficult to plan ahead for that now. And I even tried to just test it. I put down 6 multi-story car parks, made no difference. So parking in this game is really weird because it's not really true parking. People are using this facility as a place that they go to, and then they kind of go from here to other places. It's strange. It counts as like an entertainment building. It has tourists and stuff. You know, it's not really... It's the same as like this. It's not really what it's supposed to be doing. And that's one of the things I look forward to in the new game. They seem to be kind of going a bit more or trying to get rid of like some of those aspects where things didn't make sense. I guess they're a little bit more realistic, as people have mentioned. You know, much bigger buildings, much more parking built into the buildings and some of the service buildings that you'll have, and then modular industries like nuclear power has like all these modules you can extend onto it and stuff. So it's just if I had started with that mod activated, I might have been able to design for it, but now it's too late. For me anyway. All right, let's we can actually just see what it looks like during the nighttime. Yeah, those little lights come on. That's kind of nice. But we'll go back to daytime and just continue. All right, so we have our food trucks again. We could just place a few more of those. There's not many variants, so try to just obfuscate where they necessarily are by not putting them right next to each other every single time. Ice cream stands, yeah, fuck yeah. I don't know where I guess it's kind of like that. An ice bench. Let me type in stand. Maybe that would give me some things as well. Nature reserve sign. Even though it is just a nature reserve sign, just be kind of nice to have a little sign in there to let people know where they are. You know, welcome to Mill Grounds. Probably change that name, but that kind of thing. What's that? Bicycle stand. Oh, yeah. Oh my god, that's so small as well, but sure. Let's just stick one right in at the edge there. Crazy the minuscule detail you can do in the game. Could you imagine? I'm not going to do that. It'll take way too long. Alright, anyway. There should be a kiosk, too. Yeah, if you know any assets I can search, let me know. Oh yeah, good call. 2 different types of them. I feel like inside there would make sense. Gone so quiet. Just hear the sound of running water. I feel like this is probably a better angle. Cool. Any other city building games you're going to start playing? Nothing in the immediate future. My time is like super taken up by Satisfactory and City Skylines, and I'm playing Anno 1800 at the moment, which is also wrapping up. But yeah, I don't know. After this... Well, I'm looking forward to City Skylines 2, obviously. And I'm still doing Satisfactory. I really don't know. I'm not even really aware of many other city builders that There was one called The Cycle, which looked kind of cool. It's like a post-apocalyptic type one that I would consider. Did you watch the newest dev blog about services? Sorry. Yeah, I did. Sorry, I didn't catch that for a while, Two Hands. Yeah, no, I see all their videos as they come out. You were like, oh, mixed zoning, but they actually already mentioned that, so... I didn't feel like there was that much in it that they didn't already talk about at some point before, so I still thought it looked great. I'm super happy with what's happening in the game. I think it looks really good. But I wasn't like, there was nothing really in that video that shook me. One thing that I actually thought was cool, and I don't know if they talked about it, that was in that video, that I thought was awesome. For instance, in the Industries DLC for building out a farm here, you just have, you know, grid-like farms. But you can see... in City Skylines 2, what they seem to be doing is a spline system that auto-fills an area that you designate. So what I mean by that is if I just grab any old fence... actually, let me just get the park fence. So if you do this... Oh my god. Right. Let's say you go like, oh, I want here, there, and there. That will autofill with a farm that looks like this. Like this texture, if you want to think of it that way, will just be in there. And the more grids it covers, then the more you get from it. So the fact that they're doing like dynamic placement like that is super good. Really, really loving that. So that's an awesome feature. And it's not just for farms. Where I noticed it was another feature in the latest video they did for City Skylines 2 was that the landfills are also like that as well. So you can just draw out how big the landfill you want. And the great thing with that is when you start to get irregular curves in your cities and roads and stuff, it's like, okay, I'm just going to like designate this like triangle area a landfill or whatever, you know? So I love that. I think that's like one of the things I'm most looking forward to, because it allows you to fill in all those kind of weird gaps you can end up getting if you're trying to build curves, you know? Just 1 second. Alright. Seems to allow for much more realistic farms, indeed. Farthest Frontier? Yeah, there's other games I'm looking forward to. So Farthest Frontier. Oh, sorry, Farthest Frontier. I was thinking of Falling Frontier. Farthest Frontier I've already done a series on, 20 episodes. Loved it. It was really good. Just like Banished, but more involved. So I recommend it. Alright. Let's add in some more actual park things. Gazebo. So this gazebo actually has a little entrance on both sides, so it would be good for that one, I suppose, is putting it a bit more central and turning it. We have a smaller gazebo. Are they raised? Oh yeah, they are. Alright, that's nice. What else? How long have I been doing this? I've been live for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Are you kidding me? Holy shit. I cannot believe it's 1 hour and 40 minutes. That is crazy. I thought it was like 40 minutes. That is really weird. Wow. All I've done is this. Holy crap. That's really weird. That's freaking me out, because that really did not feel like that. That's like really exceeded expectations of what I thought it was. Yeah, I did. Made my first million where we just kept it there. In fact, while we have that money, let's just throw it in the stock market. The gasoline price is not getting much better. Traffic jelly. The very legit comp. Yeah, it's a bit on a dip. I don't know why it does that. I guess because its exports aren't consistent. It's crazy fluctuating all the time. Death care is at an all-time low. Alright. $250,000 in death care. Anyway, typical Darren. I mean, I've streamed a lot, and I've never experienced time dilation like that. That was weird. That is really strange to me. I have a drink with me, and it's like 2/3 of the way down. So 1 hour and 45 minutes went by, and I didn't even drink like 500 milliliters. I mean, that's weird. But I guess I don't know. That was weird. But yeah. All right. So let's keep adding in a few more of these things. I really want to move on now, desperately, to the next thing. Level 5 city park. We've obviously got these other signs and things. We have the jetty that could go out into the water. A park pier. One park pier might be okay. Maybe one on the other side as well. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I always feel like they're too raised up, though. Why can't I? There we go. Alright, little jetty. And then we still have to add in trees, rocks, things like that. So that can actually be pretty quick, the final thing. But we want to just actually add things in that'll add value to our park. A park cafe. Yeah, so this is actually the main entrance. So I feel like a park cafe down around here actually would make sense. I'll just move it slightly. Took it over. Although, arguably, it might be a little much, you know, having a park cafe here. Because it is a small park. Maybe just the one on the edge like that. And if you're going to have a cafe, you got to have bathrooms, right? So, you think it'd be built in, but I guess it's not. We could just move those trees further up or something. Suppose I could try to just get rid of them by using this. Okay, we can add in our own trees. And that bench as well is like, it's also huge compared to the other benches that are in front of this place. Can we just cheat it and make it look like it's part of the same thing, kind of? There we go, you never know. Alright, good. Time flies when you're having fun, indeed. Having a literal interstellar moment. Yeah, totally. You could go out and Rosie's going to be like 80 years old or something. I'm saying time is going by very fast. So fast that... No. I mean, literally just... I've streaming for 2 hours and it didn't feel like it. And I was like, I haven't experienced time dilation like that. And I said, I'm going to go out and see you and you'll be like 80 years old or something. Rosie came in. She heard me mention her name. It's after my first what? Yeah. I said that to you yesterday, basically. Alright. Anyways. Park Plaza. No, I kind of feel like just keeping the aesthetic pure from here on would be good. No more extra things. Like props and benches and stuff might be fine. I think the odd... Yeah, some flower beds could be nice as we lead in as well from certain places. We have our gazebos. We don't have anything up there. Any ideas? Welcome if you want to add more things in here before we get out of here. Wouldn't people want to look out over the Lake Cafe? Oh yeah, up here. Point Lookout. Do we have those little lookout things? Guess it's not in the park tab. So what are they called? Well, let's say lookouts. Nope. Binoc. There we go. Public binoculars. Just look into people's homes, because why not? What other kind of props do we have that would fit in a park? There are amusement park benches. Coin games. There's loads of stuff actually. Place to sit. Oh, there's so much stuff. It's crazy. Alright. That's rooftop vegetation. Doesn't look like rooftop vegetation. Alright, let's leave it like that. That's enough stuff, I think, for a while. I want to kind of move on, but we need to put down trees and then rocks. So what I'm going to do is grab the ones that we used over in Rosewood. Keep the biome the same, as it were. Actually, one of the first things I'll just copy is this. Because we need to put these reeds down first. And could probably do it raising the water level just slightly. Just leave them there for a second. So let's go to water. Okay. Should raise up now a bit. Didn't really feel like it did. Okay. Hopefully it's okay. Kind of seemed to come up a little bit here. I would suggest very tall trees along the perimeter to make that less of an issue. The people, yeah, I agree. Why can't I just, I can't build on water? That's annoying. Because I just raised it for that very purpose. Let's lower it down. And then I can maybe put them in and then we'll raise the water. So does that ever go down and go away? What was that? Oh, the park leveled up. Sweet. I've never heard that noise before. You don't normally get a little noise for it, do you? You normally get a big screen that opens up. Man, people are living the jetty. Yeah, I was going to actually build the other pier on the other side. I forgot to do that. Because there's two types, right? This is the bigger one. Whoops. Nice. It's a bit much for such a small little area, I guess, but I don't care. It's fine. It's like I'm playing Assassin's Creed. Hey, Swifty! Nature reserve parks have lookouts. Do you have any clusters of grass, shrubs, or reeds? I've seen City Planner players do magic with those. Yeah, we've got some available that I'll be placing around now. I was waiting for that water level to go down. I think it went down a little bit. But again, it seems to be not allowing me to place it too much because of the water that's actually there. But I'll be raising the water level up a bit. I don't know why this is just spinning on the spot, by the way. It just is. And we'll put in big rocks as well. That will help break things up. Alright, I'll leave those. Alright, I'm just going to go grab those rocks, and then we can also paint the terrain just a little bit. Yeah, so basically just grab like little clusters of these guys. Copy them, and then bring them over here. I'll move some of them as well, by the way. I'm not just going to leave everything the way it is. Okay. Maybe one of the big rocks could look good too. Those are a bit too big. Unless we sink one of them down into the water. See how far I can sink it down. Oh, it actually affects the terrain. Oh, that's a shame. It seems like that would have been good to just sink it really far down, just so like some of the rocks are in there, but it's a bit too big. Oh, I was actually moving the water around doing that. That's funny. I didn't realize they had collision that way. That's kind of cool. People out here are like, holy shit. Alright, let's move just some of the ones that we put down and cluster them up a bit, where it makes a bit more sense. Cool if I could scale these things like a proper map editor. When you put floodlights under the bridge, it could give a cool effect at night. Floodlights. Okay, I've never done that before. Good try. I like these little trees. Use them a few times. Alright, it's already starting to look better, I think. Okay, so now we could try maybe painting some of the... What was it, sand? I don't think I can actually paint sand. I think it was a gravel that I did. In the other places. No. Oh, it might be a resource. Fertile land, oil, and ore. Damn it. I don't remember how I did this. It's definitely not fertile land. It's not oil either. Is it ore? No. Is it ruin? Nope. Sand is in landscaping tools? Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah. Thank you. I'm not seeing it at all. Oh, there we go. Oh my god, it's huge. Alright, I'll just put it down and then we can maybe get rid of it on the edges or something. The size of brush is tiny, and yet I know my strength is high, but still, jeez. God, it's hard to tell if it's even going away at all. I'm right-clicking to try and get rid of it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, it is working a bit. That kind of looks a bit better in there now. Alright, so that just, I think, breaks it up a bit. Could also do maybe a little bit up here. I know it says sand, but it's more like stones and gravel, really. Damn, it's crazy. It just like slams itself down sometimes. Alright, so bigger trees now. Did the stream just start or in the middle? We are just passing the 2-hour mark. Now, collision is on, I think. No, it's not. God damn. Okay, it is. So that shouldn't have happened then, because normally you can do this. I know Anarchy was on, but it still shouldn't have happened. Do some of these big ones. Yeah, just get rid of those. Alright, try that again. Alright, copy. Because I was able to do that around here where I was able to avoid the pathways just by like overlapping them a bit. Trying to look for just like a series of trees that look good to grab. That aren't too big. Maybe just these ones. Some of those tall boys out that way. And if anything's too big or strange, then we just remove those ones. Be a bit more deliberate with what we remove. Alright, so. I feel like I could spend so long doing this. I'm trying to hurry through it a bit. I think the trees and bushes are classified differently. The bushes are so wide that they might spill over the roads. Yeah. I was playing COD Zombies, then I saw you were streaming. Nice, hope you're doing good in it. Hey, King. Just checking as well. Thanks for the subs, by the way, appreciate it. I don't know if people are actually subbing during this stream or not, but they're subbing either way. They might be here, they might not be, but I just want to say thanks. Oh yeah, said that it'd be nice to have a few of those out here, but I guess we'd need Tree Anarchy on for them. That work? Yeah, it works. Alright. That's kind of it. Don't know if we need to do any more. I mean, because I could spend so much longer, but this is just one of the... I want to start building onto the university just a little bit. I've got some ideas of buildings I'd like to place down. So what we could do is maybe just get rid of some of these bits and maybe follow someone around at the ground level and just see if there's any crazy mistakes with it. Just change the music as well. So let's, yeah, let's just find someone that's here. This person. Oh, you said you wanted lights underneath the thing. I don't know how to do... Yeah, I'm not sure I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to put things underneath things. Because... Yeah, I'm just not too sure how I'd do that. If I was trying to put this rock underneath... I guess you put it down here and then just hit page up. Yeah, I don't know. So I'm not good enough to know how to do that just yet. What are the park stats? Yeah, let's take a look. Entertainment is 950, so it should just grow. I would say it's a nice and cheap park. People can just kind of come in here, no problem. Oh, in the water. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'd say keep it kind of more low-key than that, then. Yeah, I might do a little bit on my own, just like a tiny bit, cleaning up some of the more egregious areas with some of that bush work. But we'll follow a cyclist and we'll also follow a person. So we'll just follow both as someone comes in. There's someone right there. Okay, so he's going to the climbing frame. Pierce Lewis. You know what? Gotta be honest. Don't trust Pierce Lewis whatsoever going over to the kids area. Just something about him ain't giving me confidence. You're heading towards the climbing frame. I hope someone's keeping an eye out with what this guy's doing. Suddenly becoming very creepy. You know what would actually be pretty funny, actually? Hang on just one sec. We're gonna watch Chris. Was that his name? As he goes to the kids area. Just a normal day for Chris. Just heading to the climbing frame of the new park. I'm allowed to go to the climbing frame, haven't I? Nothing wrong with that. Me and my pink fanny pack. No one suspects anything else. Oh my god. He's integrating himself. Oh wow, he's getting right in there as well. I like to sit right in front of the sandbox. Alright. Can we get someone to check in on whatever that guy's name was? Chris? I'm just gonna say it's Chris. Those dogs, they just like pounce on him. Anyway, so that was Chris's journey. Let's see what maybe one of the cyclists is doing. Oh my god. The little uneven here, but it's fun. There's a lot of people using it though, which is good to see. The dog can barely keep up with little Jimmy here. Little Timmy Tenders. Horror movie. Yeah, see, they cut out through the fence. I have to find those points where they do that and then like make little gaps. I'm totally fine making little gaps in the fence. A cycle path. Alright, maybe we can see if we can just level that out just slightly. All we have to do is lower the path here. And the bumps should largely go away. Yeah, because you can't raise or lower the actual cycle path. It's just determined by what's next to it. Which can make it a little finicky. It's a little bit more even, not great though. Do we see anyone else going that way? Yeah, there's someone. Again, another little kid riding his bike. This place, I'm afraid for all the children here. So I can just see already that that's still like slightly raised, right? So let's see if we can bring that down. Not that I guess you'd never ever notice it unless we're literally down on the ground level. So I don't gotta get too crazy with it, I suppose. It's like as I'm lowering this is also going lower. So it's like just staying low. That's a bit better though, at least so far. Let's see what it's like around the corner. Oh, stay in your lane. Jeez. Yeah, that's better, right? I mean, it's a little gap, but whatever. That's okay. Pretty happy with that. But it's nice. We made a little park. People hang out here. Young couples fall in love. Older, strange men visit the playground. All good. It's just a standard, your typical park. Alright, cool. And how's the lookout area looking? I would say clear that tree there. So let them see in. We want them to be able to see in. Alright, cool. So there we go. That only took 2 hours, but there you go. Mill Grounds. Do we have a good name for the park? Do you have the grade tool mod? No, I don't think so. What mod is that that allows you to follow them like that? That is the... Hey, Skyledge, thank you very much for the super chat. And he says, been watching you since the Ixion series. Great content. Thank you very much. First super chat of the day. Appreciate that, Skyledge. Ixion, yeah, one of my favorite games of the year, actually. Underrated game, in my opinion. What language the kid... So, wonder what language the kid's talking? Probably English. The park path modifies terrain, while the cycle path only follows it. Yeah. I think your entire mod list... I have your entire... Oh yeah, I've just added that one. I haven't even added it to the next video yet. So that one is called the first-person camera. And in the options, you can hide the game's UI. If you don't want to hide the game's UI, you can actually leave the UI on, and you can actually set it to show an info panel. So for instance, one of the cool things with the mod is you can follow any car from the driver perspective by clicking this button. Now normally you can just go into it if you press the key that's next to the number 1. It's known as the grave key. For some people it's the tilde key. So you can just go into it like that and like kind of zoom around and like zoom in on the spot, changing the field of view, and just get back out of it, no problem. Or you can follow cars, like I said. So if we want to follow this truck and see where it's going, well, you can obviously see where it's going anyway. Let's find maybe some interesting car to follow. So he's got a bit of a distance to go. He's heading to a small park. So we'll turn this off. We'll click into here. And now we're down on the ground level with him. And we can actually see his speed up on the top of the screen. Now you can still move your camera. So I'm moving it now. It's just quite slow. We can break ourselves out of the car slightly and look at it. That's a cool mod. Get to kind of look at what's going on down on the ground level of your city. And which is really nice, just to get some perspective, see what places are like even, uneven, but also see like, hey, there's a giant tree in the middle of my road, or whatever else. So pretty cool mod. I really like it. And then if you deselect it, it actually just comes right off of the car, which is nice. Want to get back in, we can actually just put ourselves right below the driver seat. Just right about here. And then even see the bonnet of the car. It's like we're driving ourselves, and we can look around, check our mirrors. Yeah, it's a good one. Also, it's hard to see now, but in the top left, it says the name of the person driving. They're using a, quote, Jeep to drive to a small park. It tells you the road that they're on, the speed they're going, etc., and the time it takes since you started. So that's all kind of cool, little bits of info. But like I said, if you want to customize it just a bit, you can say, okay, don't show me, or show me the info panel behind the UI maybe. So then you get a really clean look into things. Like this. So now I can more easily see what's up on top. So the guy up on top, this guy driving, he's a tourist. He's going to the small park, so he's just here literally visiting for one of these parks he's heard about. He's another one of these Chris fellows, if you know what I mean. He's heard about the good parks, and he's just visiting the city for it. What would we call a horror movie about Chris? Just call the movie Fanny Pack. That's all you need to know. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is going to be quite quick, but it'll be good to get this done for the next video, I think, which is I wanted to build over at Carlo Valley, our institute a little bit. I wanted to build over here. Actually, just wanted to do a quick thing. Now that we built that park, let's just check the immediate area around it. So land value has gone up a pretty decent amount. And yeah, because we wanted to fill all this in with more blue, and it's definitely more blue. It's not as blue as some of the other areas, though, surprisingly. Oh, that's a good thing. Sorry, yeah. The more green it gets, the better. Okay, that's actually a good thing. The solid blue is more the middle tier. Okay, yeah, so we definitely added value around here. So those houses are going to be happy with that. Something else I need to do is add those trees back in, because they're all gone from here. What else did we need to look at? It was the parks. Yeah, parks and plazas. So, yay, there we go. We're all blue. That's for unique buildings, parks. Yes. Great, so we totally fixed that area up. This place would just need some maybe smaller little playground. Maybe one over here or something as well to make them happy. But I'd be tempted to do something similar to what we did over here, which is like make another park out by the river. But we'll get to that one day. Some people have also said maybe it'd be nice to have just a pedestrian bridge connecting the two areas. Big long pedestrian bridge. I like that idea too. Have to do that at some point. Play the night music. Alright, so let's have a check on some of our stonks. Have we made any money? Death Care is making us 27,000 if we sold now. That's pretty much as high as it's going to go for a long time, I think. So, yeah, it's just cash out. Gasoline's at an all-time low for now. I say all-time, not since the beginning. So we'll hold so we can make more money. Alright, we're going to wait for daytime. Turn off tree anarchy. Maybe just help that along a little bit. And then when it becomes daytime, we're going to put in some parks and things here. One of the things I wanted to do, though, is actually... I know that I'm going to have to move this by one tile over. So just one tile. That actually frees us up a pathway to come down this way. I might have to change this road. But the idea, anyway, is to add in a baseball field here. Now, I don't know. This place is pretty urban, you know, so I just don't know if that would look right or whatever, but we're going to throw one in anyway and see how we get on. Your oil's gone dry? No, I've noticed. Don't worry. I'm going to be painting it back in. It's not gone dry everywhere. There's still plenty that's still going. But, and it's just leveled up. Now we can actually build the... I'll have to do this in the next episode. But I think it said we unlocked the offshore drilling rig, didn't we? Oh no, we're not level 5 just yet. We're just hit level 4. So what do we need? We have the appropriate amount of workers. It's just a matter of time before we hit it. Obviously if you don't run out of oil, but we won't. There's still more. So I think it's safe to say I would have hit it. Because the reason that we want to hit that number is so that we can actually get to the oil that's out here. We can't get to that oil until we utilize all the oil that was here. But it goes away so fast, people were saying use a mod to make it infinite. And you don't even need to use a mod. It's baked into the game as an option that you can toggle on infinite resources. And then we can use the mod just to paint back in the bits we've already used. So that there's no real difference. Alright, cool. Let's get started. Does your gasoline stonks shoot up when a lot of people move into the city? Yeah, so people have mentioned this to me several times. I'll just mention it now and I'll say it in the next video as well. that you can influence the stock market. It's total insider trading, you know? Your stock market, all these little things change based on what's happening in your city. It's not like there's a little bit of randomization, but it's mostly what's in your city. So gasoline, it actually tells you, you know, gasoline for cars is guaranteed investment. The more cars there are, the more money you make. So fill up your tank, blah, blah, blah. So basically, the rise and fall that we're seeing in greasy gasoline is actually based on the fact that it goes from day to nighttime, because more people are driving during the day. So when it's daytime, we'll just see that naturally rise. So you could totally game it. It's the most gameable DLC I've ever seen, because it's like, okay, oh, death care? I'll invest in death care, and then I'll just bomb the city, and I'll make a bunch of money, you know? Or I'll invest in agriculture, and then build my farm, and I'll make a bunch of money. Because you'll have a bigger industrial farm to pull from. So you can totally game it. But I want to play it like a normal stock market and have more fun with it. I'm not about being optimal. I'm about having fun and making things kind of feel realistic. And in real life, mistakes get made. And in real life, you don't well, you could argue that politicians do mess around with the stock market or whatever. They have knowledge about things that, you know, where they're going to place their money or invest in or what they're going to allow. But leaving that aside, I'm not going to do that, right? I'm just going to basically put some money into something and hope that it rises and try to cash it out at the right time. Rather than literally... Like, I literally invested into gasoline when I was building a tram system. That's the worst time to invest, right? Because I'm taking cars off the road. So, hopefully that makes sense anyway. I cheesed that one by accidentally deleting all the traffic with TMPE. Yeah, that's perfect. Because that's another one, right? Traffic jelly logistics. There's one that's literally saying, like, the less traffic you have, the more money you'll make. So it's like, okay. And I see what they're going for. They're like, well, if you could solve your problem, you make more money if you invested correctly. But it's also just, again, it's extremely gameable. Some of them don't unlock until certain requirements are met, right? We can't invest in oil until we actually build 200 squares of oil extractor buildings. I think it didn't mean for that. I think it meant it to be industry buildings, because that's what it says. But it's actually the extractor buildings themselves. So you need a lot of those. But if we build that big one, that'll take up a lot of grid space, and that'll probably unlock for us. Anyways, right, now that it's daytime, let's get to this. So, these guys don't really have any parks or amenities. I'm also just not very happy. I don't know what to do with an area like this. You know, what do I do when a road starts separating out like that? It's so easy to build in a grid, but it's so difficult to not build in a grid. And I'm struggling a bit with that. So, anyway, content creator pack. I saw that there is a community baseball field. That would be perfect here. You want them to aim out towards the trees, I guess, not towards the road. And what do we have about that? I love the new parks. Thanks to the mayor, I could take my family to a park, have a nice picnic. Parks and Rec. There we go. Fits perfectly. It's obviously part of the overall university, I would say. Now, there's a few other things I saw. I can't quite remember where they are, but there was like this shelter that looked really cool. Again, just don't know where half of these things are most of the time. I'll have to look around. Hotels, pedestrian area plaza. Yes, this is it. Small glass roof plaza. So this, excuse me, fits over a road. But I think it would look cool at the back of this college. Area occupied. God damn, can't stop burping. Area occupied. Yeah, we could just do this. I think it'd be fine. I think it looks the same on either side. And we could just shift it slightly. Let's bring it out a bit. What's that noise? Strange noise. Anyway. Yeah, it's like someone's like kicking the grass or something, but over and over in a repeatable fashion. Anyway, I just think that looks cool. What do you think? Is it too much for a university? It's very bougie. Feels like that'd be outside of a hotel or something, but I think it looks good. I'd be happy with it. And then we could maybe put some props and stuff here on the sides to make it look more university-esque. Why are you not bridging Robin Heights to Kilnwood? Well, I just talked about that. Some people say a pedestrian bridge would be nice there. I just think aesthetically, I don't want a bridge there. That's all. Like a road bridge. A pedestrian bridge, maybe, though. That could be kind of cool. But there's a metro running underground, so people can get to both sides just fine. Should you put a car park at the college? There is one, yeah. So there's one there that I kind of consider. So what I consider part of the campus, if you will, will be, you know, everything within these roads. So they have their own tram stop. I missed what the skill issue was, by the way. They have their own taxi rank or whatever as well. They have tennis courts. There's a car park there, which I always kind of assumed would be for here. Although I'm starting to think that it might be better to shift that out here and put in more sports facilities here. That'd be closer to the actual grounds. Which could be kind of cool. I lived in university towns all my life. That fits. Universities get really complicated really quickly. Yeah, I'll show people where I went to university. Why not? Let's see what it looks like. God, it's been a... What? That place is called Bestfield. That's a cool name. God damn. Where the hell did I go to school? Oh, there it is. Is that it? Southeast Tech? No. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe they renamed it. Anyway. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Yeah, so they've got like football fields and stuff around them. In between housing, I guess. I think Bestfield could be a good name for a certain park. Oh yeah, we never named it actually. I'm not going to call it Bestfield because that's like too... It's like you're making a proclamation that this is the best best park in the town, you know? Anyway, this isn't obviously in a built-up town. This is all, if we were to do 3D, which I don't think we can. Well, I guess we could hop down. You know, this is a small Irish town. Yep, that's Ireland for you. Alright. I just thought maybe in a bit of more of an urban city that it would be a bit strange having this here, but I guess not. They have like the big fences up. I just think like if people are batting, they're hitting it out, and they're going to hit into like a bunch of tall buildings that are going to be over here as well. I just thought it'd be a bit silly, but we'll see. Bessie Field. I'm answering in answering a previous question and finding it hard to know. Oh right, yeah. It is a skill. That is a skill issue. You should put a tram that runs arterial road around the city. Yeah, kind of. Already kind of have it going around most of it. It's not going around the whole thing just yet. God damn these trees. Also need to set up a bus route that goes around as well. It's nice to use both, I think. People are looking to turn right here. This is where I need to set up a timed traffic light. That's going to take a while to figure that out on my own. But I'm not done here yet. So right, we've got one sports facility thing there. What else would these guys have? So we've got a baseball field, maybe soccer or American football. Small soccer field. Oh my god, it fits almost perfectly. What about this one? Community soccer park. This is really weird. I've never really seen a building like that where it's angular. That is unusual. What do you reckon? Soccer field before I rush into that. That's the front runner for now. There's the Australian football parks, which are circular, which are a bit awkward. The baseball complex is obviously huge. Not going to do that. Suburban American football field. So the football field is just a little too big. Not that I wouldn't mind having that somewhere else, though. And then the community American football field, a bit bigger. Suburban cricket pitch. Nah. I think I'll go with that soccer field, then. I meant to tram around the arterial roads of the suburbs. Nah, no way. Not for me. The suburbs will remain suburbs with no... I mean, people have given me examples, I guess. I suppose the best way to say it is, this city, for me anyway, is a hybrid between America and England. Because I live in England, and I have a lot of exposure to American cities, I guess, in general. And I just don't... If I had this... The suburbs are almost like the English suburbs. Lots of cul-de-sacs, little roundabouts and stuff connecting them up. So that I just would never have heard of a little suburb that has a tram going around it, even on the 4-lane roads that go around it. Just that would never happen. I just don't think it would. People can correct me if I'm wrong, I guess, but we have buses going around the entire thing, and these guys are being serviced totally fine. It's even a little strange, really, to have a square like this with a metro station in it. That was pushing it for me. In trying to kind of create like a believable area, I just don't think that you'd have that. A train station, maybe. A lot of English towns have train stations in them. But I put in the metro because so many people asked for it. So the metro is there, and it continues all the way over to our other commercial district. And by the way, it's all in the eye of the beholder. I'm not scolding anyone for their ideas. I'm just saying that, like, to me, I don't think I'd be having a tram roll around this. But that would make sense. It would also just make sense, I suppose, to have like a train station somewhere in here, those kind of things. So you're not crazy for thinking it. It's just my obscure rules of what I think the city should look like. I just don't think I'd want to have that there. Any advice for school? It matters more than you think. So try to do well. There's no harm in doing well. There is harm in not doing well. I love the new parks. Thanks to the mayor, I could take my family to the park and have a nice picnic. Play some football. Ooh, we've got a little pathway that goes along here. That's kind of cool. Grab this road. Maybe we can go connect this out. Right down that way. I kind of like the other connection it had a second ago. And then maybe some trees or something that can go in between. I never know what kind of trees to use. I'd say stay like that, and then maybe just shift that last one over a bit. Okay, so what do we put there, and what do we put along here? I go back on the 16th. If you don't mind me asking, where are you from? Are you do you go to school in the UK, America, somewhere else? At a small cafe, maybe? Ooh, yeah. I like the way you think. Just really quickly, I want to grab this pathway, and we want to bring it from here straight up over there, so people can just walk straight along there without having to go around. So pretty happy with that as well. Again, we could have some trees along the lines here, although I guess you wouldn't necessarily want to block the windows. Just realized something. This is really sunken in. I don't know if I can raise that or just level it out. It won't let me. So I'm doing level terrain, so I'm grabbing this as the height that I want to reach, and then I'm popping it in here. Yeah, it's not really doing it though. Let's just try to get rid of that. I don't think that's the problem. I think it's like some other building that's sinking. That is weird. I just hear this weird like clipping from this weird noise here over and over again. Right, let's try that just again. Yeah, it doesn't want me to affect it. Whoa. Honestly, that's better than what it was. Okay, I'll just bring this straight out. Nice. Quite loud in there. Anyway, you started the wrong game. Now you started the wrong game by accident? JK? America? A proper university needs a nearby bar, does it not? My university did not have a bar nearby. There's no way they'd have that. But yeah, I don't mind adding one of those in. Do universities have that normally? In America, you can't even drink till you're like 21. And in the UK, I don't know what the situation is, but in Ireland, the university I went to at least didn't have a bar nearby. But it was in a town, so you didn't have far to walk to get to one. Thanks very much, Paul. Appreciate that. It sounds like a swimming pool. Yeah, it's like... I still hear it. It's in my left ear right now. You hear it, right? Squelching. Like somewhere right here. Anyway, I don't know what that is. 1 bar, at least 20, and lots of cheap junk food. On the public transport point, how would you get from one suburb to another suburb? Typically buses run from suburb to a central point and then back out, rather than looping each suburb alone. That's true. In real life, yeah. Well, so I guess I'm conflicted because of the way people have commented on the series. So my idea was having buses going around, like, let's say that the bus center was here, one of them, right? The bus station. And what my idea was is that they should kind of loop around each district. Kind of like that. Just so one goes out that way, one goes out like this way, one goes out like this way, and that would be like that focal point, you know? That's the way I had it initially. But people are like, your routes are way too long. They're way too long. That's what everyone kept saying. So I was like, okay. So I did an overhaul, and I made just a series of small loops around each district, which I agree is not realistic, but maybe it's more functional for the game. So now all of the blue lines are basically just local to their own district. They just go around a very small area. They may only ever have like 4 to 5 stops. One of them has 6, which I guess is kind of irregular. They don't pick up very much, and there's often just one vehicle. Just a bus that does its own little local route. But they line up with these red lines, and the red lines are like my original vision, which is the red lines hit multiple districts. They cover multiple districts. And they cross over with the local districts. So people make their transfers as they become blue and they become red. You know? So it's like you get your blue line out to the connection point, then you become a red guy, and you go out to a much further distance. If you become a yellow or green guy, then you're heading to work, or you're taking one of the arterial road bus lanes all the way around. So there's only one, actually, I say one of. There is only one that goes all the way around. Anyway, then there's a confluence point of transport here, right? There's like the bus station, so you can make multiple connections here. You can also just get to the metro really easily. There's also taxis, I guess, in case people take local ones just to get to something like the high school, the library, other commercial areas there. And yeah, if you're the yellow one, you're going to either this industry or to this industry. Oh, something I'd meant to do, actually, might as well do it now, was people had said, like, you should make this oil industry. And I've been telling people, like, oh, I've made it oil. This is oil industry. And if I click oil specialization, like, it doesn't do anything. And I found out that seems like you need to actually paint down an industry. No, sorry, a regular district. Yes, a regular district. So just like this, for instance. Now, call this Forest Park maybe or something. I don't know. Now, if I make this a specialized oil industry, these businesses are all going to get deleted. We're probably going to have a shock to the population because I imagine some people are going to become unemployed. Or 13% unemployment. So let's just tag this. Bonk. The little oil icon is on there now. The other thing we can do with it is go into the policies. City planning. Industrial space planning. Doubles the amount of goods produced by these. We're going to need to do that. It's going to cost us more, but it'll be worth it. Anyway, what's going to happen now is all of these industries, with all of their jobs. This is a bad thing to do, but I just thought I would do it to illustrate the point. They're all going to go away and be recreated as oil specialized buildings. Now, this is an oil industry, so in theory, all these buildings will require some oil or something to that effect, and they'll pull from these areas locally rather than using the cargo terminal to get their goods. So yeah, so I'd like to do a big overhaul of what this place looks like, and that's probably what I'll do in a time lapse in the future, soon enough, possibly before the next episode. Because now that once these buildings come in, we'll look back, but they're all going to be like chimney stacks and real polluting looking buildings basically when they all repop back up. But they'll have very, very, very limited amount of workers, which is why I say it's a bad idea. You get more tax from these buildings overall, but they don't level up and they stay with just a very small amount of workers. We just took a building down that had 90 people in it, and it's probably going to be replaced with a building that takes maybe 10. So this is why I shouldn't listen to my comments, by the way. Your farms are on fire? Ah, don't worry about it. They're not on fire anymore. They're on fire in terms of how well they're doing. This place looks cool. Alright, so tourism is what we need. because there's cafes and stuff here. So here's a sidewalk restaurant. Sidewalk cafe. Now this actually comes baked in, a sidewalk baked into it. Unfortunately, it seems to be on the wrong side though, is it? Yeah, what a shame. Because this could have easily gone into there. So I've just eroded that bit, have I? Yeah, that's okay though. It is tempting. Let's just go into here a bit and bring this down. Using a little bit of anarchy, they'd never know that we've done that. Maybe we could just shift it just slightly. Crap, it's going to be hard to get to that point. So I need to not select a building. There we go. Hello? Node, please? I can't select it, I don't know why. Oh. So I have selected path, track, and road, but I can't select any of this stuff. I don't know why. Why? Does it count as a surface? Nope. Props? Nope. Building. Oh, that came baked in with its own path. Oh, I see. Got it. So it doesn't have a node that I can move. I see. Got it. Because it's just on the edge of the building. So what you could do is something like that, I guess. Sorry about that. Yeah, I just forgot that this path is actually part of the soccer field. It has the one either side that you can hover over individually, but it is actually part of the building. And when I turned off selecting the building, it wouldn't select anymore. That makes sense. Alright, so that should fix that all up, I think. Let's just go back to... Is it daytime now? Yeah, it's 7 a.m. There's just one tree in there that we can maybe get rid of. I hope. Just turn off everything except trees and see if I can toggle it now. No. Is this part of the building as well? Oh, I think it is. My little sneaky path here isn't really working out. I mean, that's fine. That does the job. Let's just hide this. There we go. So there's just trees and bushes either side of it, but it's not too bad. Lets people kind of cut through. And then we have our cafe here. That also is part of the path. And we can change its style. Variation 1, 2, and 3. What ones do you like best? I think 2. This one's really small. This one's like an old brick kind of building. And that one's a bit more modern. This might fit in with the aesthetic of the university better, though. Let me know what you think. 1, 2, or 3. Gonna just grab the surface tool again, and we're just gonna pave this up. Still hear that noise, by the way. Driving me crazy. Anyway, there is a mod that lets you separate out the assets from particular buildings. It's called Bob. B-O-B. I just don't have it. I don't want to use it because it's too much. I just feel like I'll never get anything done. Because I'll be forever like pulling little assets out of stuff. If I was a City Skylines only YouTuber, then maybe I could maybe make sense or make justify doing that, but I like to just keep progressing, keep things moving forward, and I think it's best that I don't install that mod for that reason. 3, 2, 3, and 3. Alright, we'll leave it at 3 then. I agree. I think 2 is the nicest looking building, but 3 fits the area the best. That's at least how I feel about it. They've got a little seating area as well out there. We maybe throw in another one of those trees. Just turn on tree anarchy. Throw the brush size down. I'll just pop one in right there. That's total coincidence then that the tree that I just grabbed from here happens to be the same one that's baked into the football pitch. Alright, looking good. Alright, so before we wrap up, we still got to fill this area and potentially this area. Any ideas? And sorry if I've missed any chat, just write it again if I have. And thanks again for the support so far. Have you unlocked the town hall and such? Don't know. Town hall doesn't ring a bell to me. Nope. Not sure what the town hall is. Have you made it? It's not a university district, no. I've only actually just unlocked that, I think. The ability to do campus. What was that? Leisure specialization. Didn't know you could do that, actually. Paint a campus area. Yeah, I plan on doing a bit like a proper DLC campus area somewhere out there when we make a second one. But for now, this is just a local one on its own. City Hall, it's called. Oh, this building, the unique building. It looks a bit too ornate for this city, I feel like. Isn't it like a palace? Unique buildings 8x8. The city hall houses the city council. And I guess it's just like a tourism building. It's okay. I just don't think it would fit. At least on this side of the city. It seems like an old European building. So, not my style, I guess, for this place. More food options. I mean, here we could literally just pave it as low density, and you will get little restaurants popping up. Rather than specific ones. Could try that. Should we try that? You have a mod called Network Multitool, which is a very simple limited feature that just unlocks roads that are baked into buildings. It's not Bob. Network Multitool. Unlock segment node. Yeah, I still don't know how to use it then. I don't know. I believe you, but like I said, it's just one of these things where it's like we're getting too granular, I would say. But I appreciate you telling me. I just don't know how to use it. City Hall next to the bank, maybe? Guys, you're getting too distracted. All I'm focusing on just for now is this point. Maybe in the future, though. Yeah, I've actually changed my mind already about zoning this because I just feel like that looked weird. Building could definitely fit in here. What do we have? We've got a 3x6, I guess. Could maybe fit something. Let's have a look at unique buildings. So, tourist park, sidewalk, restaurant. Not really going to fit. It's too big. Okay. What about city park aesthetics? Nope. Not going to use any of that stuff. That's just going to be props. This is going to be park maintenance buildings, pedestrian area buildings. We don't have a pedestrian area yet. We haven't unlocked any of them. That's a plan, again, for the proper big downtown area, but I haven't got to that yet. So, an ice cream stand. Now we're talking. Food truck plaza. Yes, let's go. Yeah, I'd say somewhere out here. Look at that. It's perfect. Food truck plaza, and across from the baseball field, next to the parking lot. Let's see what else is available just before we put them down. Fountain plaza. Statue plaza. Large food truck plaza. Oh, it wants to go across the middle of a road. Oh, that could have been good here, actually. Damn, we just put so much work into that one. Let's see, maybe we can move this. Just for a second. Oh my god, it fits perfect there as well. After all that work we just did. An ice cream stand. Let's do the food truck plaza. kind of on a hill, that pathway. Just lower that building a little bit. That should flatten out that. Hopefully everything else is okay. Seems like it. Seems like maybe that was just placed a bit too high up. Okay. Looking good. I think I'm pretty happy with that. We have a parking lot over there already, so I don't think I need to add another one in. So I would say we could connect this. Let's just delete that bit that comes out here. A lot of people using it though, which is good. Alright, so now we can have room right here for something. And we've used variation number 3, we're keeping that. Alright, so we've got 2 little bits left that we could do with something. It doesn't have to be a building, it could be props, but we could just have a look at maybe different things that are still available to us. So, large ice cream stand. These are just all these various little props. Food trucks, paving, etc. What do we have in regular parks? Tropical garden. This one always fits in there. It's like a little Japanese, yeah, Japanese garden. I'm gonna keep it there, but kind of looks funny. All right, you can. Do you have benches? We could add in some benches for sure. Yeah, it could just be like a little seating area that we make. I mean, this is kind of what this is, though. There's seats and stuff here. Once we see people populating this, they'll be sitting on benches and stuff, like these tables and chairs. What else? You can also go into that unified UI and make a line so you can make trees evenly spaced. Oh yeah, I always forget about that. I don't even, again, it's just a lack of knowledge on how to use these things. I've seen it before. I literally have the mod called like Line Tool. Don't remember where it is. I mean, it's pretty straight. It's fine. But yeah, I'll look up how to do that. That's the one I'll actually write down because that's one I should know how to do. And I've used it before. I just don't remember where it is in there. Like, I know how to do arrange at line with roads. I've been using that. But there isn't a specific line tool that you can fill for like bushes and things. A library? Oh yeah, the library. I had thought a library would be perfect to place... Oh my god, get these contours off my screen. There we go. Yeah, so we've got a library over here. One of them would fit really well right between here. Be slightly overlapping. I don't know, maybe I'll just end up putting it there or something, or moving that car park, because I just feel like... Yeah, maybe I'll move the car park or something a bit further down. That would have been a decent area for it. And there's going to be... So, another plan here is that this elementary school is probably going to change, build a new one. A different type of one. And put it out here. And I want more, like, kind of sports stuff in this area, too. So, for the elementary and high school, that's going to go there. But I'm pretty happy with how this is filled out so far. Just wondering if there's any last bits we can fill in there. Let's just see unique buildings again. Level 1 unique buildings. We've got, like, a Statue of Wealth. It's too big. I don't even know what that is. Statue of Shopping. Alright, so we look at Tier 2. Fountain of Life and Death. Bit morbid. The lungs of the city, it's too big. Helicopter park. Actually kind of cool. What's this? To celebrate the city having a helicopter depot of each type, and thus being very, very safe, you can now build a park. Kind of cool. Near the university. Alright, and just finished it up straight up like this. Whoa, Brian Longoria has dropped a massive 50 with a super chat. First time catching it live. You taught me so much in Anno 1800, and I've watched around 100 of the episodes. I'm liking the series as well. Much respect. Cheers. Sorry that your whole message couldn't fit in the tweet thing. But hey, thank you so much, dude. $50 is a lot of money, so thank you very much. Appreciate that a lot. Just paid for the stream, just right there. Thank you. Watch around 100 of the episodes. Not long to go then. I don't know how many there are in total, like 160? And it's almost at the end. We're almost at the end. Oh, this actually doesn't actually cut in as badly as I thought it did. Nice. Alright, cool. And maybe just throw a few more of those in. Okay, this is the last little spot. What do you think should go there? Alright, you come out of the back of the school. You're across from your restaurant. You're across from the football field, sports facilities. You've got your food trucks. Maybe that little ice cream place would be good. That came up before. Yeah, Brian is a W. And also, just shout out to the I think I streamed Satisfactory on Monday. And I can't remember exactly how much there was, but there was something like at least 15 super chats. It's kind of crazy. People throw in big support, so really do appreciate it. But I've had my fill for the week in some ways, so thank you. Yeah, it's a small ice cream stand plaza. Let's just see if we can slam it in there with a bit of anarchy. I think it fits, only barely. There's something... What is this? Are these doors? They're not doors, so that's fine. I don't mind blocking those then. In fact, we never have to see it if we just go back to where we were. The noises here are really strange. Alright, what do you think? I think that's pretty good, right? We've got a nice looking area now. I think it looks quite natural. Leave it empty? I like the ice cream stand. The only thing I don't like about the ice cream stand is there's a tree baked into it. I know you can get rid of it with Bob, but I don't have that, like I said. Yeah, the sports places really make it look really good, I think. And then you have a nice little separate walking trail here, because people keep asking me to add more and more pathways to this place. Oh yeah, there's no buses right now, but there is supposed to be a bus stop here. That will be back. In fact, I could just put it there just temporarily just to see what it looked like. Because it cuts the road in, you know? Like that, yeah. There we go. Alright, cool. So yeah, I'll have to make a little bus route for them as well to take them out to different places locally. I like to use like every bit of transport I can. So trams, as well as buses, as well as the metro, obviously traveling underground. So I think using a bit of everything is good. I don't see why not. Greasy Gasoline's making us a little bit since we invested. We could be making more. We'll hold on. Got a load of money now to do massive expansion if I want to. But yeah, it's something I'm struggling with. So I'm going to be wrapping it up now in the next few minutes. But I was going to just throw it out to you guys, and I'll ask it in the next videos, I'm sure, as well. But I just don't really know what to do with, like, kind of this area here, the way it's kind of breaking up like that. I kind of brought a road up and out this way, but it just, I don't know, I feel like the whole area just doesn't look very good. And now it might just be a case of bending this road more up so that it matches like this one, and that way it's just, the spacing isn't as so big between the two, you know, the zones kind of coming together a bit more. That would probably do the job. And maybe that's what needs to happen. Something else I'm going to do as well is kind of build a nature reserve up this way. But maybe I'll do that on a stream. That could be a fun one. I'll check how these streams did. I actually can't see the view count or anything. So it just depends if people like streams, and if it does well as well after the stream is over, then you'll get more, basically. And obviously people who are subscribed, super chatting, channel memberships, all that kind of stuff helps too. City Hall in that square by the sea would be nice. You guys are obsessed with the City Hall. I don't like the building. I don't think it fits the city. It's like a European... I just don't think it fits. How does that fit here? Whoops. City Hall, what? And it doesn't actually function like a city hall. It's just a tourism building, so I'm not sold on it, guys, I gotta say. If I was building a more European-themed city, then sure. I never see idle taxis waiting. Another depot might be wanted. I think it's just because nobody uses them. Yeah, where is it, actually? That's a taxi stand. Did I... Oh yeah, I moved it over towards the industrial area. There's 22 out of 25 on the go right now. I never see them use either stand. Oh, there's... Eh. Don't know. They just seem to go directly to houses rather than wait in busy places. Not sure. I obviously haven't placed them very well. Every now and then one will pull up and then it just immediately goes somewhere else. So not too sure. Yeah, I totally see the taxis driving. I'm aware of them being out there. I just don't see them using the taxi ranks. I guess, do you want to have taxis waiting? I suppose, yeah, kind of, right? You want one or two. Rather than some people feeling like they can't get one, yeah? Anyway, it would be an abomination in that city. It would fit better in a historical old town area. I agree, yeah. Nope, that won't fit. You know, had some imperfections with trees and paths. Yeah, I was thinking of just building some sort of like, almost what we just did. So at the very beginning of the stream, I built this area, right? And it's just to hide away the fact that this is a thing. And it seems to have worked pretty well. People do use it. I don't think it really counts towards actually being a park. It has 0 visitors. So you could probably remove the park area and just leave it in there as like a place that has some props and people walk through it, I suppose. Right, so now we don't see the park name anymore, but at least it's like filled in and there is an actual park there to come onto. People do kind of walk this area a bit more. So I might do something like that where you fake it. There's like a little park here or something and then it kind of extends in. You kind of don't see it. Or like I said, I might just start pushing the roads in just a little bit closer. But the idea would be that this would be a place called Seaview that extends up to here. I'm not sure what to put in this area either. It just seems like a good spot for something, but I don't know what. Let's check our traffic as well. How are we doing now? 81% flow. Still busy here. This will be fixed if we just get a timed traffic light, but it's actually not too bad now. It's mostly pedestrians that hold up traffic. And that's weird. Got a lot of cars leaving at the same time. Wonder where they're all going. Why are they all so slow here, actually? Oh, it might be because of this time traffic light. Yeah. That's understandable. Well, it's still free-flowing, relatively speaking. And is their speed okay? They're just going very slowly, it feels like. Yeah. Alright, I think I'm going to have to leave it there. So basically, just as a little recap of what we did today, we built mill grounds. Oh yeah, we actually just, very last thing was we changed this place now. Now it's very industrial. Dino Legacy, I guess, huh? Fossil fuels. But that's the oil buildings for you. So, unemployment's probably risen since doing that. It was just kind of a test to see that. Yeah, it has. Because it makes more money, but it holds way less workers for the same amount of space. So I'll probably maybe zone some oil buildings out further out this way, but the rest will just be regular. Because this is just a nice way of seeing what it would look like, but doesn't seem ideal. Alright, yeah, so just as a quick recap on what we had to look at, what we did mill grounds. It needs a name, so I would say leave your names in the comments of the episode if you can. So it'll pop up later, or just obviously leave them in the live chat now and people will see that too. And then I'll have a look afterwards and see what would be a good name to go with. So we have this park, basically. Nice little park, just filling in that area. It's given rise to land value of everything around it. People seem quite happy. And some of them I might turn into nature reserve paths, like maybe the ones that lead up here, but I'm not too sure just yet. Lots of food trucks, lots of ways to go out into the little pond area, lake, and play with it. And play on it, gazebos, etc. It still could do with some extra stuff on some of the hills. I wouldn't say it's fully done just yet, but pretty happy with it nevertheless. And then the other thing we did was we built out this area. This one was much quicker. So just adding in more parks and facilities, sports facilities around the back. We've added in restaurants, statues, ice cream, food trucks, big pavilion for people to kind of stand under when it's raining as they wait for maybe taxis, buses, etc., whatever it might be. Might be interesting to put a bus stop in there, actually, thinking about it. Although they do have one on their side street. Yeah, really, really happy with that. I agree that this one is maybe a bit of a standout, but it like stands out a bit more than it maybe should. God, the lights are bright as well. Alright, so there we go. So that is the current situation with the city. So again, just shout out to everyone that's hung out with me today. Sorry I couldn't read absolutely everything all the time. Trying to keep things moving forward, generally speaking. As well, if we could just pick a car to follow. We'll wrap up with that. So that's going to have to be it for the stream today. This will be a regular video that's live a little later. Thank you again to the people who dropped super chats, people who are just here following along, and also, God, I need to turn the game down, don't I? It's very, very loud. There we go. Bit better. But people just following, chatting with me, and spending their evening with me, or afternoon, or wherever it might be. So appreciate that a lot. So that's going to be it. Thanks to all the moderators. I don't think we have any. Bitmark is my one moderator, and I don't think he's here because our streams are pretty chill. And then we just have a bot. He's been replaced by AI to some extent. Alright, it's going to have to be it. Thank you very much for watching. And I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.